Wow. Sorry, I had you guys waiting. I apologize. If this suddenly cuts off, it's because I'm already up on my hours, I believe. I'm not sure with my stream yards. I know I'm close, but I just couldn't figure out how much time I have left. Uh, TGL dog, hi. Pat, big big tits, hi. Shiva, Huey, Nevea, I could be, Wamito, I don't answer questions, Sean, Kev, Uprising, 69 Mammy, Zombie, Baby Love, Kev, Uprising, Guess Who, Miss Auditing Chicago, Womps, Alex, John D. Oh my God. Hi, Jet88. Good to see you. What just happened? Yeah, I said big tits. Big tits, whatever. That's a channel name, Miss Auditing, Mrs. Auditing Chicago. And I always have a rooster that wants to take over my show. Hi, Peachy, listening with eyes closed. Okay, the happy hippie. Oh, thank you, Mrs. Auditing Chicago. I appreciate that. Oh my God, what just happened? All right, I'm going to post a link. Give me just a second. Okay, so welcome everyone. I did not say that on this Sunday. It's July the 5th. This is Peachy Rider, Adventures of Peachy Rider, and I hope everyone's having a great Sunday. This is PT Rider. What's up, Walmita? And I hope everyone's having a great Sunday.
All right. Howdy, Peachy. How you doing?
So I'm a little agitated, but I'm okay. So am I a whack job?
Yeah. Well, the thing is, this is the thing. And I'm just hitting 50 years old and figuring out that everybody thinks different. It took me a long time, but the thing is the neat thing is when people can come together on a panel and bring differing opinions and agree to disagree, and it seems like that's what where there was a battle on this panel is nobody could agree to disagree. So, but here's the thing, PG, is you have this is what I kind of perceive here is we have two different perspectives. We have the perspective of you who's a teacher all your life, right? And you got into teaching because you got a heart for kids, right? So your whole thing is about kids and kids' safety. And I completely get that. Then you've got these guys, the auditing community that are very, you hear about them saying, they call me the good citizen or extra good citizen, or because we're law-abiding citizens. these are legal, very legalistic, always follow the law kind of people. So if you're always following the law, then you're not going to have problems with people out there doing wrong. The problem is that there really are people out there doing wrong. I was saying before, there's a community out there called predator poachers, and they use those words because they seem to fly okay on YouTube rather than saying, "Oh, somebody else trying to talk."
Nevaeh, can you hear me?
You're coming out real broken up, Peachy.
Okay, hold on. Give me just a second.
Yeah. But predator poachers, y'all look up predator poachers on YouTube. It's a whole nother community, but it's a community that's out there trying to catch people that are looking for underage children for personal gain. And that opened up a light for me when I started seeing there's a lot of people out there looking for little kids. More than you could even imagine. It's a whole nother dark world out there. So I do understand both sides. I know Peachy coming on. She got a little bit. It looked like I took over Peachy's channel, but I got Neva keeping me in check, and so I'm going to go ahead and let Peachy come back onto her panel. Let me hit the button here so I can let her back on. In the meantime, Nevaeh, you've got your mic muted. Anything? I know you came on the panel because you wanted to share your opinion on some items. Go ahead.
Yeah, thanks. Peachy will be back. She's probably refreshing. But you sat over there in that panel and you justified and you made excuses, unfortunately, and you're a grown man. That's number one. Number two, the First Amendment activism is not a community, because a community doesn't throw each other under the bus, stab each other in the back, or do any other crap that the First Amendment activists are doing to each other. So that is not a community. So I greatly disagree with that term when you're referring to the First Amendment activism people in YouTube. Peachy, kudos to you, dear. What you did was brave. And everybody agreed with not everybody, but most people agreed with what you did. What you did was a wonderful thing, to get up there and speak out for what a lot of people saw as a bad decision on the part of the father of that child. Now, he ended up shutting his stream down because he ended up getting porn bombed. That could have very well have happened while that child was up running that. Oh my God. Somebody needs to mute their noise.
Hey, by the way, I'm sorry. What is porn bomb? I've heard that term, but what is it?
I'm not done.
Oh, it's just a question. Okay.
Ask it when I'm done. I let you talk without interruption. All right. So that could have very well have happened when that child was up there for those 20 minutes running that panel, and even brought somebody up on the panel herself. That could have happened while she was doing that. So don't say that this couldn't happen, that couldn't happen. And those of you who are unaware, the comments in the live comments on StreamYards don't get deleted when the YouTube comments get deleted. So Tippy or whatever his name was up there making that excuse, that's another bullshit line excuse. Every single one of you on that panel are complacent in that activity that went on in that room today. And shame on you. Now I'm done.
Okay, thanks. Hey, no, just a question. You had said something about porn bomb, and I know that I heard that term a couple other times. But what is that? I apologize, I don't know.
Somebody got up and put porn on the screen. I was already gone, but I got notified of it right after it happened. And it could have happened when a girl was doing the panel.
So if I displayed porn on where my camera is now, Super G, that's called porn bombing, and it's a way of compromising people's live streams, because YouTube doesn't like it if you display porn on a stream, so it will shut you down properly. But
Hey
I
man,
think
what the fuck going on? Shout out to everybody, man.
Yeah. Shout out Mike Taylor. Welcome everybody in the
Okay.
chat. Just a quick welcome. Looks like the Dixon family out there. Welcome
sorry,
everybody.
Super G. Sorry. Are you running the show?
Go ahead. It's your show.
It's not my show, but it appears to be your show.
Yeah, I took over. But I'm gonna hit the button. I'll let Pete back
I
on.
think. Oh, that's really not funny. I know you think it is, but it's not. It's kind of annoying. Now, I think what's quite interesting is that Peachy was proved 100% right, because the same stream that at one point the child was manning was porn bombed, right? So like Peachy's point was absolutely fucking correct, because that's not a kid-friendly panel, right? Brian's channel is not a child-friendly channel. It's a sort of channel where people might go on it to porn bomb it. I mean, that's happened in the past, right? So I think Peachy was just proved absolutely 100% right. Everyone on that panel who argued the opposite was proved wrong. Demonstrably wrong.
And everyone on that panel that argued against Peachy was complicit in that behavior, and that was wrong. Y'all ganged up on Peachy. Where's your words now?
Yeah, I'm waiting for the response for the people who seem to think that it's completely fine having a child on Brian's panel, that there's no issue with it whatsoever, only for that very same stream to be porn bombed. Zombie, you were arguing against Peachy Rider, weren't you?
And I just said that she should have brought it up to him in private, and not made it a public situation.
Oh, that's kind of a wrong argument there, because it was a public situation. It was a very public situation.
What about you, Mike?
Me?
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I don't know what the fuck going on, man.
All right, okay.
Tipsy, man.
Yeah, Mike wasn't there.
That's my boy right
okay.
there. Hell yeah.
I don't think Mike would have agreed with it either if he had seen what was going on there. That's just my opinion. I don't know that for a fact. But
he was in the chat. He was in the panel.
Were you in the panel, Mike?
If you're...
Yeah, but I never knew what the fuck was going on, man. I'll be honest.
So what was going on was that for a period of about 40 odd minutes at the start of Brian's panel, his daughter was hosting the show. And then Peachy Rider went up, I think initially in the chat and later on the panel, saying, yeah, look, this isn't appropriate. It's not appropriate for this child to be hosting a panel on this channel. And then she, and here's the thing, right? His channel, that very same stream was porn bombed later on after his daughter had left the stream. So she, didn't see it. But that kind of basically demonstrated Peachy Rider's point. Like, the stream that she was hosting could well have been porn bombed, because Brian's channel is the sort of channel that might get porn bombed, right? Because I know people do that to panels. They tend not to do that to a little girl's channel.
Well, how old was the girl? I mean,
I don't know, 9 or 10 or something.
She's 9 years old.
She was a kid.
Oh, well, I mean, how do you know what kind of precautions he has in place?
There weren't any.
Well, see, that's the thing. The argument is that actually, if you're on StreamYards, right? First of
Can
all,
y'all? I'm sorry, Sheila. I've been having technical issues. I'm gonna have to go back and catch up with my own
I'm
show.
hearing you now, Peachy. You're coming through good.
All right, I apologize. Go. I missed everything. So go ahead, Shiva. I guess I'll catch up.
So, comments that are deleted in the YouTube chat on the StreamYard's private chat, certainly if you're an admin, I don't know if it's the case if you're not an admin, but if you're on the admin account, which she would have been on, no comments are deleted, right? So if somebody was putting hateful comments into the chat, assuming she can read, and I'm assuming that she can because she looked old enough, then she would have seen all those comments. Furthermore, if someone had joined the backstage and then either with her, like, even if it was just backstage, she gets a preview of what they're displaying. And I don't know if I didn't actually see the event. I've seen screenshots of it since, but if I don't know if they changed their picture or not before they came on. But I mean, it just goes to show you've got an adult who has been porn bombed before, and he's not immune to seeing it. So I don't understand how his daughter would be immune to seeing it.
Yeah, so Shiva, if you click on live comments, you will see all of the comments from YouTube. Any comments that are deleted on the YouTube side are not deleted on the StreamYard side.
That's exactly right.
They're still.
Nevaeh, hold on, guys. Hold on, please. Let me address the chat. Listen, do not time people out in chat, please. I do not have the ability to take away wrenches, but I do have the ability to ban and or time out people that are timing out people. Please, unless it's against YouTube policy and absolutely horrible, do not time out and absolutely do not ban. Thank you.
Okay, so I then when everybody's saying, hey, you know, wake up, this was an inappropriate allowance on you, the host's panel, to let your daughter unsupervised run an adult panel. And so I saw numerous people being hidden on the channel because of expressing that sentiment. And Trippy was actually on the panel. Look, I don't know what her limitations are, Trippy, but I'm going to tell you what I wrote but wasn't seen because I was hidden. What I wrote to you, you are unaware that the comments, the live comments on the StreamYard side stay. I don't care I don't care if the entire chat in YouTube is deleted. StreamYards is there. That girl.
That's exactly right.
And that girl could have read anything, any comment, any inappropriate comment, regardless of what the mods did on the YouTube side in the chat. All right.
Aren't they? If the mods block or delete something, isn't it? Don't you on the channel owner side? Isn't it made a link that you have to click on to see what was canceled out?
No, it just shows up just like a chat stream. Okay, so number 2, and this is really, really important. While she was up there running the panel, she actually brought somebody up onto the panel. Now, that porn bomb that happened on his stream after the fact could very well have happened when she was running the panel. So this was Peachy's argument, and all you guys sat up there and spoke against her. Tough shit, News New England. I am not a stupid bitch. I'm going to hold you accountable, sir. Bad father. You're a terrible father. I'm just going to put it plain.
Hold on.
Well, I'm responding to him. Any parent would not have done that. Any decent parent. So call me a bitch if you like.
So Peach Rider, what happened with you and CFW? I mean, I just hate to see y'all fighting, man. Y'all like the same damn. I hate to see y'all fighting, man.
You know, there's some extremists in the YouTube community. I'm not even going to say 1A community. When I say community, I mean more the whole, everyone in YouTube. Everyone, okay? So you've got extremists, and I believe that she's one of those extremists, and she doesn't care what, uh, just like a lot of people, they're going to white knight for other people. They don't particularly care why, what they've done or if it's ethical or unethical. And I believe she's that type of person, Mike. And I call her out on her BS because when she says something, just because you say something does not make it true. And I've called her out, Mike, and that's our issue. Not to veer off this topic. Let me post the link and News New England. You're welcome up here on panel.
Yeah, thanks, PG. I had a question because I've never been, like I said, I've never been on the driving side of Streamlabs, but I did propose a question in the other stream that if somebody makes an inappropriate comment and a moderator blocks it, could the daughter still see it? And they said if she knew how, and I'm just because I don't know, but how do you see it? Does it give you instruction? Like, could she have? Because I know she was reading the chat. Would she have been able to read something that would say how to view that comment?
It would just show up. So you don't on this side. On this side, you don't have. There's not an option if something's inappropriate to say show or hide. So on my side, or anyone sitting on my side, a 10-year is going to see every single thing. It doesn't matter what the moderators. It doesn't matter the mods deleting. I can see everything regardless if it's deleted.
Are you breaking up, or maybe it might just be on my
No.
side?
Yeah,
It's
no, you
not.
started breaking up again, BG. Sorry.
I was just about ready to say something, Mike, when you said that. I was going to say she's roboting.
Okay, I didn't
She's
know if it
running-
was only me.
She's running off a phone, and she has some issues with it sometimes.
Go ahead, Zombie.
I just was wondering. So if something is deleted, does it at least get highlighted to bring attention to the channel owner, and that a mod had deleted the comment, and it's so that the channel owner could see if what was deleted or someone was booted, so that the channel owner can see that the
Can I
an action was taken.
compliment
I don't know if
Navia?
you're a stupid bitch or what, but everybody heard that my wife and I was both in the room. So you stupid bitch, for you to
What
sit
is
there
this? The toothless
and
ring?
say
Is
that
nobody
you
in
weren't being, that she wasn't being friggin' wasn't
Hey, hold on, hold on, News New England.
missing teeth in here?
being
Hold on.
You knew she was being supervised. You knew she was being supervised. Why did you sit
Jesus,
up?
that's
But
not.
you're being a stupid bitch too. You knew she was being
You
supervised.
know what?
Why
You didn't-
did you correct
You
Novella
didn't
when
talk this much on your own damn stream. You wuss.
Exactly, you pussy. Shut up, fat boy.
Nevia, I don't know if I'm saying your name right. I need to address
Nevaeh.
you because
Now get it
Nevaeh,
out, guys,
whatever.
because in a minute I got to let PG back into the
All right.
chat here.
right now,
all right, hold
Novella,
on.
you're a stupid
Get
bitch.
it out quick.
Wasn't being supervised because you knew she was. You knew she was, and you still said it. So you are a stupid bitch. Yes.
Oh.
Whether you
Okay,
like
can
it
I-
or not.
I didn't
Okay,
see
hold on. Hey, hold on, Brian. Now you got on to me for calling someone white trash, and then you let somebody call me whack job time and time again. But you have the right to come up here and use the B word.
Yeah, I'm going to use the B word. If someone's
Okay.
being a stupid bitch, I'm going to use the B word.
All right.
Okay.
Well, see how all that works.
You're breaking up. You need to get a hold
Yeah,
of your phone and get the hell out.
This is not your panel, Brian. And
Yeah.
I didn't see you or your wife in the frame with your daughter.
You wasn't even in the chat or anything else. You'd have heard me and my wife saying stuff in the background. You'd have heard me whispering to my wife, and you'd have heard Paul saying, "Don't whisper, Brian."
Okay,
See, that's what I
so
mean.
you were in the
Stupid bitch,
room.
You don't even know what the hell's going on.
So you were in the room,
Say
and you were,
about it.
and
He
you were
was
saying,
on-
never
he
shut
was
up,
on
did
the
ya?
Super
On
Bowl.
somebody else's
He
stream,
was
you
on
run
the
your
Super
mouth.
Bowl.
But when you're on your own stream, you got your balls in your hand.
Why doesn't anyone have any teeth in here? Just
What the
Can I
hell?
please say something? Let me say something because I'm busy.
I'm gonna respond to Brian. Okay, so you were in the room
Well,
with
hurry
your
up.
daughter. When you were in your room with your daughter, and you're saying she was supervised, right? And that couldn't have happened while she was sitting in chair in control of your computer while you were somewhere other than where she was at your computer. Let me finish. Just let me finish. Right. So, in any case, here's the deal. You were sitting at your desk when that porn bomb happened to you, and I didn't see you able to stop it. And she's a 9-year-old girl. I think there's something wrong with your
I
mic.
personally, I didn't see a porn bomb, but did you, Brian? I don't know. Did anybody else?
There was a porn bomb. There was. I saw it.
yeah,
So,
we all.
what is that?
Now
so
let me
porn showed up on
respond.
the screen?
Hold on.
I don't know. I don't know.
Let me respond to Nevia because she called me out, got on here, and she's got her facts wrong. So I'm the only one on the panel who agreed with Peachy Rider. The only thing I didn't agree with was how she went about it. I don't think she should have interrupted a good show, and made she ended up making Brian's daughter cry. Okay, I don't think she went about it. Let me
You
Who's
attacked
talking?
Brian's daughter, bitch.
It's
Why'd you do
Trippy.
that?
It's Trippy. I'm the one talking.
Trippy, okay, hold on a second. Hold on, Trippy. Just stop right there. Hold on. Now, there was many people who disagreed with this. And I was invited on panel by Brian. And you set aside his daughter's emotions and feelings. Brian put her in that situation. I didn't. And I was invited on his panel. And I didn't start all this business in chat about it being inappropriate. I didn't start that. I did voice my opinion on it, but I didn't start it. Trippy.
I know, but what I was saying about the comments, what I was saying about the comments was you're a mod, so I think your job being a mod on his channel is that you shouldn't have said comments like it was inappropriate. Let me finish.
Okay, that's
and
deflecting.
I think wait, hold on.
In my opinion, hold on, you wait.
Black man, let the black
yeah, I can interrupt. This is my show. You wait.
Black lives matter. Let it speak.
In my opinion, that is deflecting from the issue. Let's take away the mod status. Let's take away what mods are there for. Okay? Because certainly Brian did not tell me in mod status I could not voice my opinion. Especially when I'm erring on the side of caution for the betterment of his channel from being taken down and his daughter. I'm erring on the side of caution. How can I be an idiot for doing this? How can I be a whack job when I'm erring on the side of a child?
I'm the only one on the panel who didn't call you a whack job. I was the only one on the panel who was partially agreeing with you. I just don't.
Trippy, I never called her a whack job. I never called her a whack job. So please.
Okay, you as well. Okay,
I heard you call her a whack job, guy.
Nobody spoke up when she was called a whack job. Nobody spoke up when she was called a bitch in a chat either. That comment still
exactly. Nobody said nothing.
My question is this: if there's something publicly that happens that's unethical, do we wait and email the person, or do we speak up when it happens?
It depends. If kids are involved, you wait. If kids are involved, you wait. That's my opinion. If kids are involved, you wait.
If kids are involved,
the girl's crying in her room.
Then it makes it more necessary, more of an emergency to get
if it's
to.
Unethical, it's unethical.
Listen, I get what you're saying. I completely get where you're coming from.
Hold on, Trippy, hold on. Brian does not have a specific set of rules for his mods. I'm sorry. And if you want to jump on the mod bandwagon, then you're missing the whole darn point of a child sitting in the hostess chair for an adult channel to where she can look at any.
You're roboting again, Peachy.
You're breaking
Yeah.
up, Peachy. I will respond to that real quick, and I will say I feel like you everyone in here is like overlooking what I'm saying. I agree with what Peachy's saying. I'm the only one I think on the panel who agreed with her. I think she went about it the wrong way. There's other ways she could have went about it. But yeah, I agree with her. I just wanted to address
Here's my
Navia or
issue.
whatever the fuck your name is. You like I didn't even say anything about
Well,
comments being deleted,
but
I just
Trips,
said as a mod.
Tripster, but she,
Okay, we're just gonna run on for 10 minutes.
Tripster, didn't she wait until the child was gone though before bringing it up? Which is what you're saying.
Here's
No,
my
but she
issue.
was
The stream
posting
didn't stop.
Sancho, we all know you don't like Brian, so come on now.
So I can't
Come on,
have an
bro.
opinion, Mike Taylor. So I
Yeah, you
can't
can have
have
an opinion, but come on, man. Go ahead,
So I
bro.
can't have an opinion, Mike
What
Taylor,
up,
Nah,
because
go ahead,
Sancho?
bro.
because
Go ahead,
you
man.
love
Where's
You right,
Brian?
you right.
Brian. So because you love Brian, should you
No,
have an
you
opinion?
can
Don't
get an
interrupt
opinion,
him,
bro.
please.
You right. You right,
Yeah.
bro.
My question is
Hey,
this: how
hold
can
on,
somebody
hold on,
do?
stop, hold on,
How can,
freeze, everybody, hold on, stop a second. Who does someone know Smokey? Smokey's in the
Yeah,
back room. I don't know
that's my homeboy. He's
let
not
who.
Shiva up.
talking and shit.
Let
He's
Shiva up.
Fox sent him. Fox is sending all these people. up.
How
Who's
can
who?
somebody trippy? How
Fox
can
Who
is
you?
knows?
Sean.
Hold on. Who knows Smokey?
I do. Foxman Sean.
Okay,
These people.
all right, thank you.
Ask your
So
question,
my
Sancho.
I
question
don't,
for
but I
Mike
will.
Taylor and Trippy.
Oh my
My
God.
question for Mike Taylor and Trippy. This individual less than a week ago did a video from his hospital bed, 15 minutes long, still on his channel, bashing me for allegedly calling
Okay, we don't
CSW a
need to
bitch,
see anybody laying up in the bed. Happy.
which I never called CSW a
You want me to sit up? I'll sit up. and participate.
Which
Smokey,
I
that's a
never
sexy
called
bed.
CSW a bitch,
Let
yet he
Sancho
went
talk.
on here
Let Sancho
calling multiple
talk.
women bitches. I can't talk.
Go ahead.
He does a video alleging that I called a woman a bitch, which I never did, for 15 minutes, saying I would never call a woman a bitch. He comes on the panel and calls multiple women bitches. Is that okay, Mike Taylor? Is that okay, Trippy?
Based
I
on
didn't
him
see none of this.
bringing it up, bashing you for it, I don't agree that it's okay if he's gonna bash you for doing it and then he does it. I don't agree, but
I never did it.
I mean, I would have done the same thing because she said straight up, you're a bad parent or a bad father. I don't know her exact words. I would have absolutely came up here and said the things that he said.
Well,
It's
he
one thing
kind
to give your opinion. It's
of
another thing to straight up call somebody a bad parent. I think you're crossing a line.
Yeah, I agree.
I want to hold on. Let's let Nevaeh respond, but I want to invite Brian. I did not kick Brian out the panel. I want to invite Brian back up. Go ahead, Nevaeh.
All right.
welcome to the panel.
Excuse me, mercenary. Thank you. Trippy, just to be fair, the only thing that I was trying to explain to you was that you were making an argument about StreamYard's chat versus YouTube chat. And YouTube chat deletions do take place and retractions take place. But the comment, once it's in there, it still shows up in StreamYards. So she has every way to
What
see
comment
that.
did I make?
I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about his daughter, who was reading and sitting in his chair. So she could see anything that anybody put in chat, even if a mod deleted it. So you were making an argument about that, and I was just pointing out you can see everything in StreamYards, even if it's taken out of YouTube. And that's the only point. No, wait a minute. I understood you exactly. I'm explaining to you the point I was making just to you specifically. And it's all had to do about what chat you see and what you don't see and what you see in it. That's all it was about. It wasn't about anything else. I didn't call you all out on anything regarding Peachy. It was just about the chat. Now, let's see. That's only point I wanted to respond to. I'm not going to sit up here and argue with Brian. I'm happy to go back in the chat and he can come up here and call names if that's what he feels free to do. That's fine. The reason I called him a bad father was because of the behavior.
Oh, man.
It was the behavior that I was actually criticizing more than it was
It's
him.
not your place, though.
Why isn't it if I'm seeing something that is inappropriate?
Freedom over feelings. Right?
What if someone feels that you're overweight? Should they have the right to tell you, I feel that you
Okay, so we're all saying that it's okay to express our opinions, but you can't express your opinion.
No. It's
Exactly.
one thing to express your opinion in the debate, but to come on a panel and just say straight up you're a bad parent, like you only see Brian for on panel. You don't even know how his day's going. You don't know the life he lives.
So Trippy, it's okay for him to call me a child molester when he doesn't even know who the fuck I am, and it's okay for me not to respond to that. Come on, man, your analogy's not working.
You do sound like a child molester, man.
You look like
I'm pretty much done with this conversation. I said what I said in regards to his behavior, and I stand
somebody
by
just say
that.
I'm
and
talking
I
like a
stand
child
by
molester?
that, Trippy. You're tripping. I stand by what I said. His behavior showed me that particular choice he made was not one that a good parent, a diligent parent, would make. End of story. Now,
No, I don't think they were talking about.
off the panel because I'm not going to have your argument.
Hey, I'm just trying to talk. I'm not, yelling at anyone. I just wanted to come up here and defend myself because, oh, she's gone. But she was talking about me. I just wanted to come up here and defend myself. I was the only one on that panel who was agreeing with Peachy. You know what I mean? I don't think it's a good place for kids to be. But I think she went about it the wrong way, and I stand by that.
Go ahead, Shiva.
Well, I'm going to wait. I've been waiting for ages. I don't know if you couldn't see me. I've got questions
I'm
for Brian.
having Shiva. I'm having technical difficulties. I apologize.
All right, I've got questions for Brian.
He won't come on. He won't come on because he's saying that he made a deal with Kate with Masshole Report.
No, he didn't. Masshole.
That's what he's saying in chat. He's already
what he doesn't realize is that Masshole Report was fucking taking the piss out of him. Oh, Jesus Christ, what an idiot.
Well, he already broke his truce because 6 hours later, his mods were bashing me, actually accusing me of harassing a slow person, which that's a new one. So I'm adding that to the list of accusations.
Sancho, can we keep personal? I mean, I know you've got things going on with him. Are we staying on topic? I've missed half my own show.
Yeah, we need to stay on topic, everybody.
Please.
All right. Well, okay. Let's stay on topic. Let's talk about how all of you, maybe with the exception of Trippy, attacked both Peachy Rider and Nevaeh for coming up on panel and saying what they were saying, and now you're over here being all fucking sweetness and light, like two-faced fucking cowards. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Hey, Peachy, did I attack you?
I was up there by myself with going against everybody on that panel. So, while Mito, maybe you didn't attack me, but I certainly.
Well, here's the thing.
I certainly was alone.
I just was a correction for Shiva, but go ahead. Thank you.
I was a Lone Ranger.
No, Super G. No, you're the one who just fucking talked over everyone all the fucking time. That's what you did on that panel.
I never talk over anybody.
You talked over everyone all the fucking time, just like I'm doing to you now. It's really annoying, isn't it? Isn't it really annoying? This is so annoying, isn't it? This is so annoying. This is so annoying, isn't it? It's really annoying when people talk over you.
Let's get some order, please, because let's let everyone talk.
Order in the court.
Yeah, Shiva, order. You need to respect Peachy, huh? Or we're gonna have to let you go.
I don't need to respect you, though. I do respect Peachy. I'm not being disrespectful towards Peachy.
I'm going to have to let you go now. Thank you.
Oh, man. I know you think you're funny, but you're not. Really.
I just can't understand how all these grown people on Brian's channel cannot agree with somebody erring on the side of caution dealing with a child on an adult channel. I mean, come on, people. Is it just me?
I can't understand why there won't be men and fucking stand by their words. Two-faced bitches is what you all are.
I mean, maybe they just don't want to get involved in drama. You know what I mean? I don't think necessarily somebody's a bitch because they won't come on a panel.
Hold on, Peachy. He said he won't come on panel because of Kate. He promised me. So I'm going to drop off panel because of his fuckery, and I'm going to let him come up.
I wasn't talking about News New England. I was staying on topic.
My song show, bitch.
Well, I haven't heard much of Zombie, and Zombie had a lot to say on News New England's channel.
Yeah.
Zombie's my dad. In case you
all I just said was that Peachy, you should have taken it to Brian in a different manner, like through email or text or chat or private.
What okay, so are you saying that to everyone in chat who disagreed with Brian, including some other mods?
Well,
are you saying that because because I'm the only one that had the balls enough to go on panel to speak my opinion and my convictions, my morals?
I didn't. Okay, I didn't come against you for saying what you did. I just like Trippy, and I think you should have done it a different way.
How? When so many other people in chat, so say that to everyone else that was in chat. Then you're just saying it to me because Brian. Hold on,
absolutely.
Brian invited me up on panel to speak, and that's what I did.
Yeah, don't misunderstand.
Now, how
misinterpret. Don't misinterpret what I'm talking
how
about.
Else could I've done it differently?
I don't think that you going on panel and talking was where you should have changed what you did. I think the comments in the chat, you and everyone else who was saying like inappropriate, all that stuff. I think all of y'all went about that the wrong way. I don't think you should have said those comments. I think people should have emailed him or said that after the show was over. You coming up on panel wasn't the part where I disagreed with you. It's the comments in the chat, and the only reason I'm only addressing you is because I can't address the other people in the chat because I'm not having a one-on-one conversation with them.
Okay, well that's a good answer. So we're gonna disagree on speaking up about a minor that's in the hostess chair, taking over an adult channel, so to speak. She can see every single comment. She brought up Paul. Didn't even know if it was Paul or not. Okay, when there's porn bombs, it's been off time and time again. The porn.
You're roboting, Peachy.
Well, all right. Those people who were on Brian's panel.
So what we're going to do, everybody, we're going to let Peachy back on here in a few minutes.
I'll just wait until the fat idiot stops talking.
Go ahead, Trippy.
So, good. The idiot stopped talking. So, the other people.
Back up on the panel. Go ahead, Trippy. Thank you.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
I wasn't even.
Annoying.
was the only one talking. I wasn't talking.
Yeah, I know. He's just being a dickhead, Trippy.
Okay, Trippy.
Shiva, you're being a wanker, so be quiet.
Go ahead, keep on topic, please. Thank you. That's all that Peachy and I asked.
Okay, so my question for the people who were on Brian's panel, Jesus fucking Christ, is: do you agree that it was inappropriate? Like, what is your position? Is it appropriate or inappropriate for a parent to bring a 9-year-old child to host a live stream on a channel that's known for being, one, adult oriented, and two, quite controversial? Super G, do you have an answer?
I wouldn't say that it was inappropriate. That's not the word I would use. Because when I first saw it, my immediate thought wasn't, this is inappropriate. I would say that it wasn't the safest thing. That's what I mean.
Those are the options I'm giving you: appropriate or inappropriate. That's the paradigm that we're doing.
I'm saying I wouldn't use that word. So you can't like force a word in my mouth. That's not how that works.
Oh my God,
well, hang on, Trippy. Why not? Why is that a false dichotomy?
I'm saying I wouldn't use the word inappropriate. You're asking me if it was inappropriate or not. I'm technically saying no because I wouldn't use. That's not the word.
So you think it was appropriate for him to do then?
I don't think it was the safest thing in the world.
If it's not inappropriate, it's appropriate, right?
I don't. The only thing I'll say is it wasn't the safest thing in the world. Much like a lot of things in the world.
Right, but look, it's either appropriate or inappropriate. Like, there's no kind of middle ground because it's a binary choice.
Exactly, it's a binary.
Let me say this. This is just an example. I don't know how it'll come out because this is just off the top of my head. But like, let's say you bring your kid into a store, right? And there's
right.
Like, let's say those pornography magazines, right? And they pick up one of them. You can't say, oh, you shouldn't be bringing your kid into a store because they might look at something inappropriate. Like that, you can't look at it like that.
Right.
It didn't happen. Like
right.
there was a porn bomb during the.
That's a false equivalency.
There was a porn bomb during the stream, right? But it wasn't why she was on there. So I don't think you should make a big deal about it unless it's like.
Right. That's a false equivalency, and here's why. Right. The porn in a store is limited to one section. That's actually quite difficult for children to, like, especially young children, to see. Let alone
absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. It's
okay,
not.
They are in the UK. I don't know what it's like in the States.
You just open up the internet and type the word porn.
In the UK, the shops that sell pornography.
In the United States than the UK.
Yeah, thank you.
You want to see porn? You open up the internet and you type the word porn.
Thank you. You're really contributing to the conversation. So look, in the UK,
another thing, right?
In the UK,
go ahead.
Pornography, when it's sold in shops that
you're talking
oh,
from
Jesus
UK
Christ. Why do you keep interrupting?
Let him talk. Let him talk.
No, let's find out why he's doing it. No, hang on. Right, Super G, why do you keep interrupting me? Super G?
Yeah?
Why do you keep interrupting?
Because you like to talk over me. That's why. Later.
Let me say one more thing real quick. Shiva.
No. So, sorry. Okay, yeah. You say you're one more thing. I'm going to bounce because obviously there's
okay, hold on.
Go.
People don't agree with you. Now you're going to run away. Shiva, run away like a little pussy.
There's no conversation to be had.
No conversation is there to be had. Go change your nappy, Shiva.
Look, I can't. It's hard for me to run this panel, and I apologize to everyone because I'm having technical issues. Go ahead, Shiva. Please, guys. Go ahead.
Jesus, I can't. Sorry, Shiva's doing that.
Jesus Christ. Right, sorry, look. Super G, all you've done is actually, since I got on panel, is derail the conversation.
All you've done, you come in here and you talk shit and think that somebody's going to bow to you. I don't bow to you, motherfucker. I'll tell you that right now.
Okay, can you
motherfucker?
Very nice. Can you tell me exactly what shit I've talked?
But I love Peachy, and that's why we need to keep you in check.
What shit have I talked? What shit have I talked?
Keep you in check. You need to stay on top, and you need to respect.
What shit have I talked? What shit have I talked?
Gangster on you. Okay.
What shit have I talked? What shit have I talked?
Yeah.
What shit have I talked?
You hear me. Now straighten it up, because Peachy and we gave you a warning.
Peachy, is this right? Peachy, is this coming from you? Is this guy speaking for you? Peachy Ryder.
She might have
technical issues. Technical difficulties.
Okay.
I will say, Super G, you are interrupting him a lot. I agree with Shiva on that. You are interrupting him. He is staying on topic, and you won't let him get a word out. So I would like to hear what Shiva has to say.
I've fucking forgotten what I was saying because that fucking twat keeps interrupting me every sentence I utter.
Well, you're being a wanker, Shiva.
How am I being a wanker?
And because you keep walking over everybody, you're not giving people a chance to say their thing. And sometimes I think you need to have your nappies changed, man.
Is there a way I can derail this for a second and just point out the fact that I think it's very wrong of the people that were on that panel allowing Peachy to be bullied and yelled at, and they stayed quiet. I have an issue with you people for staying quiet. It's just as bad as calling her all those names. You just stayed quiet, and that's a problem.
Shiva is nothing but a wanker. He's all he does is tries to find.
Wait. Oh, did you ask Kate to come on?
One of you controversy. He tries to work on.
Well, this is fun.
And if he's not happy unless he's at the controversy, he goes from panel to panel to look for the controversy. When
I'm chasing you from panel to panel, Brian.
Hey guys, I'm hearing somebody's feedback.
All Shiva is a clicks and views man. If it wasn't for the clicks and views, he could care less. He comes on the panels and tries to make himself sound right, but he's actually an idiot.
Feedback.
I'd like to respond to Brian at some point.
Shiva, Brian's talking right now. Come on, dude.
Talking about. He never has half the time. He's using UK law and tries to say, "Oh, this is the way it is." And Shiva should be shove it and shove it up his ass. It shouldn't be Shiva. It should be shove it. And from now on, when I see you, Shiva, I'm gonna know. Oh, look, shove it's there.
Okay.
Brian,
okay,
can
nice.
he let him? Brian, can we have him?
And that's it.
Can we have him respond?
And that is Shiva. Bye, Felicia.
No, he's gonna run. Don't run. Don't run. Don't do your little running thing. Stay there. Don't run.
Go ahead, Shiva. Go ahead.
Well, the thing is, the questions I have for Brian might change the topic of the conversation. Are you okay with that? Peachy?
May I interject first, then?
She wants to stay on topic.
He's gone. Also, Peachy, can I just clarify? Super G appears to be speaking on your behalf. Is that the case here?
You know what?
Put on topic. Peachy said that too.
See,
Let her answer the question.
Hang on,
hey guys.
Peachy, is Super G speaking on your behalf here?
Obviously, I'm speaking on my own behalf because at the end of the day, absolutely no one has my back but me,
Well,
and
it's
that
just
is the God's honest truth.
Hey,
Well,
Peachy.
he's claiming,
Right. Thank you, Peachy.
he's claiming that he has the authority to tell other people what to do on your panel.
Peachy stands up for herself, Shiva. She already said that. Now,
May I?
Anyway.
May I, please, say a word?
Yes, go
Peachy
ahead.
and I have now both told you to stay
Let
on
Onslaught
topic.
say something. Let him say something, or her.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I have two
hold
things
on, guys.
to say.
Okay, go ahead.
I've got two things to say. The first is, Peachy, I've always got your back. I promise. Absolutely promise. I've always got your back, insofar as it's possible to have your back from such a distance. Secondly, I want to address something that Shiva said from a purely logical perspective, because no, it's not true that appropriate, inappropriate is a binary. There are things that are appropriateness neutral, i.e. things for which the concepts of appropriate and inappropriate don't apply.
Well, no, I'd agree, but
because
I disagree.
Because appropriateness is a moral judgment, yes.
Right.
So
yes, but
there are things that are simply morally neutral, and therefore the notion of appropriate or inappropriate doesn't apply. So to say,
but
something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. No. I understand what you're saying, and I disagree because of the context. And I think, like picking your nose, that would be like probably something that the context just doesn't apply, right? The way you walk down the street, the context just doesn't apply. However, I think when you're talking about having a minor hosting a panel on a channel that is known to, one, have been porn bombed in the past, and two, to be to attract trolls,
Well, I've known many minors in the past. Most of them had their jobs taken away by Margaret Thatcher. But you know,
we're children. All right, okay.
Okay, sorry, I was being facetious. I'm trying to diffuse with humour.
I know you were. I know what you were doing, but I suppose I'm trying to rebut your point. So I'd agree with you that in a whole range of situations, you could say, yeah, that's a false dichotomy, right? But I think when you're talking about having a child hosting a panel on a live stream that has been porn bombed in the past and attracts trolls, then I think it's not a false dichotomy. I think the dichotomy is legitimate.
Right. Okay. So I was addressing it from a purely logical perspective. The simple fact is that if there is a set of circumstances to which the appropriateness inappropriateness dichotomy doesn't apply, then that dichotomy is false, and therefore it can't be binary. Yeah. So absolutely. I would say definitely there are things which are either appropriate or inappropriate, and that binary does apply. But in this context, the way you stated it, and I agree, but the way you stated it, I had to kind of leave.
Yeah, but and we could have you should come on my panel sometimes unsuppressed, because I think we'd probably have really interesting conversations. But this conversation was taking place in a specific context.
Yes, y'all been going back and forth for a little bit.
My main motivation was just to derail the fucking screaming, so that I could have a listen and see what was actually being discussed. Because I couldn't get any sense out of any of that at all. There was no discussion. It was just fucking screaming, and that's no good for anybody.
Well, thank you to calm Shiva down. I appreciate that.
Super G, like yours. I mean, you're such a bad troll.
It's good to calm everybody down. This is a very sensitive subject.
The thing is Peachy and I have both asked you many times. Now I'm asking you one more time to stop.
Jesus, dude, you sound like a white knight, dude. Calm down, okay? You're not a white knight. Peachy speaks for herself. Calm down.
You need your respect, Shiva, or we're going to have to let you go.
Hey, so listen,
Peachy, is this guy speaking for you, Peachy? I don't understand what's going on.
I watched all this shit. I watched all the stuff from Atlanta, and I'm telling you here and now, nobody speaks for Peachy other than Peachy. She does her own fucking thing. She's got more bollocks than the rest of this panel put together.
I don't understand why she's letting him do it though.
Shiva, we were having.
She's letting him speak. She's letting him speak. She's letting him speak.
Because half the time, Shiva, hold on. Let me say something. Half the time, more than half the time, I'd say 65% of the time, I have not been here. I've been refreshing, and I don't know if it's because I have too many on panel that this keeps fucking up. I don't know. Right. So I apologize. Look, hold on. I can't run my fucking show like I want to with a topic that I'm very passionate about because of this technology. Okay, my phone. I'm doing this off my phone. I greatly apologize. Please.
Yeah.
So you guys are going to have to step up to the plate. Hold on. Two things. Try to step up to the plate and stay on topic. And I'm the worst at anyone of interrupting people. So try not to do that. And let's have the chat be able to hear everyone, please.
Right.
Yes.
Thank you, Peachy.
And not have one-on-one conversations as well. Let everyone talk. Now, I need to say something.
I'm going to drop off the panel, but let me say one thing before I do, so that I can clear out. Because in my experience, actually, if you have more than 5 or 6 people on a panel, it gets incoherent and unmanageable. But I wanted to say this first of all, and it's about Peachy, because I was there. I was in the live stream the night of fucking Hot Dog Boy. And there's one thing about that whole encounter that nobody has talked about at all. And this is why I say what I say about Peachy, that when the cops were advancing, when they were close to the car park after Hot Dog Boy had accused her of fucking being racist and trying to incite the crowd against her, when the cops were advancing, everybody, including fucking Frank Hassel or whatever his fucking wank name is, ran away. The only person who stood their ground in that entire crowd was Peachy. She stood still. She filmed what was going on. She kept her head about her. She spent 45 minutes running from this fucking harassing wanker. Frankly, pulling a knife on her after 35 minutes, that was fucking small potatoes. I'd have stabbed the cunt after 10. Yes. She has got more fucking fortitude, greater fucking bollocks than all of this fucking panel put together.
We heard you the
for
first
my
3
money.
times. Like, I get
Peachy,
it.
deep respects. And with that, I'm out.
But
Be
yeah,
good
deep
Stay
tongue
safe.
up your asshole too.
Thank you, Unsub. That just
My word, what is wrong with you people? Sorry,
greatly
Peachy.
appreciate
Yeah,
that. That's all right.
Thank you, Unsub, and I agree. Thank you, Peachy.
Hey, Peach Rider.
Dude, he is all over your nuts. What the hell's going on?
Is this a funeral,
All right.
Peachy? Like, did you die or something? I mean, what's going on here?
This is
She's having technical
Super
issues.
riding your nuts.
No, this is probably the worst panel I personally I have run because of technical issues, and I'm really close to shutting this down and restarting. But I'm really trying to hang on, guys. Okay.
Now, me and Shiva were having a. I know you're gonna thank her. You're gonna tell her you love her. We get it, man. Me and Shiva were having a conversation before all that nonsense started. So Shiva, I want to go back to you for a second.
Hold on.
Sure.
Who's speaking?
If you can remember.
Who's speaking?
Trippy.
Who's speaking? Hold on, Shiva.
Trippy is speaking.
Trippy. You know what? That's disrespectful, man. When Unsub is talking to me about something you have no idea and you're calling it nonsense.
No,
I'm not talking about Unsub. No, I'm not talking about Unsub. I was talking about.
Peachy,
I was talking about
respect.
Dude, I was talking about Super G. He's like riding your nuts. That's who I was talking about, and I was talking about him and Shiva fighting. I wasn't talking about Unsub.
Okay,
yeah,
look,
Unsub was great.
Look, let's hit the refresh button. For me, it'll be about 50 times. And let's stay on topic. And I need someone to start right now and go and stay on topic and give me something that I can think upon with that craziness from News New England's channel.
Thank you, Peachy.
Trippy, go.
Thank you, Peachy. Please,
dude, how many times are you going to thank her, bro?
Yeah,
you have like a
Trippy, listen, you haven't been on other panels before. Take the ball and run with it, Trippy. Go.
Okay, on this panel, you're going to respect Trippy and Shiva. You hear us?
I'm not respecting
stop fucking
you,
white
you
knighting. Let
fuckwit.
the guy talk. Let the guy talk, please. I don't like the guy, but let him talk.
Me? Are we talking about me?
Yes, talk. Jesus.
Hey, are you
All right.
the colored guy or no?
Am I the colored guy? Whoever said that, shut the fuck up.
No one
so
said
Shiva.
no.
No racial stuff now.
Jump, just
please.
Trippy jump. Just jump
Time
into
we
it.
ask you to keep it on topic, everybody.
Oh, Jesus, you should just kick Super G. I'm sorry.
All I'm saying, I'm about to hop off this panel because it's like nonsense now. Is I agree with Peachy. I agreed with her. I think the comments she said in the chat were uncalled for. I think she went about it the wrong way. I've already said this multiple times. I think her hopping up on the panel and discussing it after News New England told her to, and voicing her opinion, I don't disagree with that. I just think she went about it the wrong way, as many other people in the chat did. I mean, you're talking about, don't let her see this. What about like her feelings? What about making her cry? She, News New England said she was crying in her room, so we have to consider that as well. There could have been a better way to handle it. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, all right, Trippy. All right, I want to say something.
Yep.
Whatever happened to that child, it's on her parents. Just like they're responsible for her being there and being in the room. Just like whatever happens in that room, they're responsible for, just like they said, and they're responsible for however she's feeling afterwards with what anyone has said about her. That's on her parents, not me, Trippy, not anyone else. If the little girl's crying, Victoria's crying, it's because her parents put her in that position on an adult channel.
Yeah, you don't blame someone for having an opinion that was welcomed and called on the panel. Then she gives her opinion, and she's described as a monster because she made a 9-year-old cry. That's bullshit.
Yeah.
No. I'm not talking about on the panel. I'm talking about in the chat before News New England even
Okay,
got
let's
on. I'm
forget
talking
that.
about while the
Let's
show was going
forget
on.
Trippy. Hold on. Let's forget that. Let's go on. Let's go on this with a child running an adult channel. What about that? Okay, let's not forget. You're deflecting with what I said in the you're deflecting in the fact that what people are saying in the chat that's affecting her. No, her parents that put her there affected her. What about that, Trippy? What about putting a kid in that chair to have a Q&A session on an adult channel?
And here's the irony.
You are not hearing what I'm saying. You are not hearing. I agree with you 100%. I don't think she should have been on. I don't think she should ever be on. If I had my own kid, and I'm only 22, if I had my own kid, I would never bring my kid on a panel that has to do with stuff of this nature, especially some of the conversations on that panel that News New England has on his channel. I agree with you 100%. All I'm saying is that I think you went about the situation the wrong way. That's
Okay,
all I'm
all right.
saying.
Now you're completely repeating yourself like everyone else is doing. I understand. Thank you for your stance on that, and I appreciate Trippy your time. Who wants to go next?
That child was in the room the whole entire time, even after.
Hold on. Who's speaking now, please?
Me, Sancho.
Okay, go ahead.
Here's the issue. He's going after you for being a monster for two reasons. Because you had an opinion that didn't agree with him. And number two, because you gave that opinion when he welcomed you to give that opinion. He allowed that child to be in the room during the whole conversation. The unethical, disgusting part is this. Last night, he jumps on the panel swearing in the car when his child's in the back seat. So don't go after Peachy for having an opinion when you're swearing in the car on film, number two. And number two, don't go after people for mentioning your children. Or number two, don't go after people like Kate for shit that's not even true about her children and then do this shit. It's disgusting. My last point is that stream began with a child and ended with a vagina. That's the problem.
Thank you.
Anyone else want to say something?
I'm sure Shiva does.
Yeah, you should swing by the shit show sometime, Trippy. You might enjoy it. You'd be welcome on the panel. We'll have a chat.
What is your channel that you go on?
He was on this shit show, Shiva.
We've asked you many times, please keep it on topic.
Shiva the Scam Destroyer.
Okay, I'll check your channel out, man. I appreciate that. I'll check it out. All right, I'm gonna hop off this panel. Peachy, I appreciate you having me on here. I appreciate everyone's time. I just wanted to have a debate. I don't think I'm wrong. I don't think Peachy's wrong. I don't think News New England's wrong. But I appreciate your time, all of you.
All right, you're welcome. Have a great day. You're welcome back at any time. Welcome, Kate, to the panel.
Thank you, Tripster.
Hey, I was going to try to keep my mouth shut, but this has been like such a shit show that I felt like I had to chime in. First of all, I don't appreciate that Brian keeps bringing my name up and saying that I brokered some sort of truce. I was far too diplomatic with what I said. I was trying to give the guy some advice to see where he would go with it. He proclaimed it a truce and then proceeded to break it within 15 minutes, which is probably pretty predictable. I'm not going to err on the side of diplomacy again because now he's attacking Shiva for absolutely no reason. People are entitled to their opinion. I also, Sancho had made that point that I was going to make anyway. Brian was very, very, very vocal in criticizing my parenting when he doesn't know me or know my children, and he won't because I don't put my children on the internet. I don't blame you for the fact that child was crying. There's a reason why I don't let my 11 and 14-year-old on the internet, even though they've asked to before, because once you put kids on a platform like that, you can't control what other people are going to say, and I don't want to see my kids get cyberbullied by a bunch of adults. I don't think anybody should want that.
Very well said. Thank you, Kate. I absolutely 100% agree.
And Brian ran away again.
Well, yeah, and furthermore, he's trying to make a point about, clicks and views on Shiva or on Sancho or whoever else he's attacking, today, when in the same breath, he's now bragging about his 1,000 subs. Like that point doesn't stick anymore, okay? When you're constantly drumming up this ridiculous controversy and going, hey, it's paying off, I have 1,000 subs, you can kindly go fuck yourself twice.
And of course I want clicks and views. I'm on fucking YouTube. Come on.
Okay.
He's got a video. He's got a video that I made as a prank a few
Sancho,
weeks
hold on
ago.
just a second. Why? Hold on. Let me tell you something. If people are deleting comments, I swear to God, and I mean what I say, and I say what I mean what I say. I will go through each and every freaking comment on this whole show and ban you guys. Ban whoever's doing that. Not just unwrenched, but banned. I'm serious. Quit deleting comments. Thank you.
That's right. Hey, can I just say to Kate really quick, you're amazing. Thank you for everything you do.
Yeah, Kate, you're doing an excellent job. Shit, true.
I don't know where we can get another female on New England's channel to not err on the side of caution with a child, or anyone from that matter on his panel. No one except for me, and no one dared to come up there with me on
Well, I'm
News New
banned.
England's channel
I'm
to
banned.
speak out for this inappropriateness.
I
I don't
physically
understand
couldn't
that.
get on. I physically couldn't get on there. You know that, right, Peachy? Because I'm banned from there. Thank you.
All right. Well, if no one has anything else to say, then we can shut. I guess I can shut down. I hate to shut down with 100 people in here.
Just a real quick shout out to El Jefe in the stream there as well.
Who's that?
El Jefe popped into the stream there.
Yeah, welcome, El Jefe.
No, but I brought up the subject. Is it okay when a female is getting attacked to just stay quiet and not speak up? Is that acceptable now in 2020? Is that okay to just keep your mouth shut when someone is getting called a drama bitch in chat, never got deleted, a whack job, 25 times you were called a whack job by the same person who was talking to a minor 20 minutes prior to that, by News New England, who goes out of his way and says, there's no way I see video backstage, I'm not going to get porn bombed, and he gets porn bombed. He's a walking, talking hypocrite.
Zombie, you're awful quiet, and you certainly have a lot to say on News New England's channel. Are you going to stick with your stance? Are you sticking with the stance that it's okay to put a child to kind of quote run the show and see all the comments?
I never said that. I just
okay?
said that the way that you went about the whole thing was wrong.
No, fuck, no. All right, the Zombie. We can go back and listen to what you had to say on News New England's channel, and it wasn't just what against me and what I said in chat. That's rubbish. I mean, are we done? I guess we're done. Let me do some. I can do some shout outs. And
Well, he doesn't want to talk. Zombie. I think Zombie talked so much on that stream, he lost all of his vowels and his nouns and his pronouns.
No, you know, and we got News New England that's bouncing up and down like a little kid. And not facing the music. When News New England, that I stayed up on panel for a long time trying to debate my feelings on the whole situation, and I can't even get you to stay up on panel for 10 minutes, Brian.
You were attacked for
Well,
giving your opinion, and you were allegedly a monster for making a child cry.
Well, I didn't hear anybody call me a monster, but it's very frustrating that with people that can spew shit where they feel most comfortable, but yet when they get out of their comfort zone, then they're going to shut the hell up.
well, News New England has a habit of running away when I jump on the panel. Sorry. I could leave. He might come back.
Well, he said he couldn't come on because he promised Kate, then he came on with me anyways after I waited for him to come on, and then he didn't come on. Then he comes on when I'm on, and then he leaves, and he's hiding now. It's like, what are you doing? Like, own up to this. Don't call people bitches either because you disagree with them.
I like how he's saying in chat that he made a promise with Kate when Kate was just on this panel 5 minutes ago saying, no, there's no promise. There's nothing going on.
and where is that other guy? What's his name? There's another mod that he was so quick to white knight for News New England. What's his name? He was the other mod. Where is he?
Who's your news now? That prick?
Who's your news now? Yeah, he was on there.
That prick? I just think if I'm ever on a panel and a woman's getting attacked like she did, if I know Peachy or not, I'm going to speak up and tell the fuckwit to shut up. The mud cricket. And I just wish everybody on this panel felt the same way, and they won't allow that kind of attack to happen. Instead of shutting up and doing sign language and all that shit, that's not going to help anything.
Mercenary Diaz.
PD, I need to see your face, please.
PG, I don't know if you noticed that Mercenary Diaz has been doing a lot of translating for us. Want to thank him. Shout out real quick.
PD, I need to see your face, please.
I don't know where Kate went. Hey, PD, how's it going?
Hey, everybody.
Welcome.
Welcome to the shit show.
I have a feeling, PD, now please correct me if I'm wrong, but you're the kind of guy, if you're on a panel and someone on the panel is calling the female a bitch, you would jump in, correct?
And that's
All right, so PD, what's your take?
That's exactly why I'm here.
Is somebody, hold on, is somebody talking that I can't hear?
Yeah, can't you hear me?
I do, PD.
No, I can hear you, but was someone talking before you, Sancho?
I was.
PD, was Sancho talking before you?
Yeah, he is now.
Can you hear
me? All right, let me refresh once again. Sorry, guys. Y'all just run my show for me. Go ahead.
All right, PD, floor is yours.
Yeah, the reason I came on is, number one, nobody should be calling anybody names. We're all adults here. We need to be discussing everything and working things out. This is not so. Now, as far as anybody underage, and I think we all agree on this, should never be on these, because this can go from rated G to rated XXX in a matter of seconds. And it has no bearing on whether a parent is good, bad, or indifferent, or ugly, or nothing like that. It was a mistake. It probably will never happen again because the child is, a little upset from it. And I think we all know that, it'll probably never happen again, and that's good. It's a lesson learned. It's over and done with. But whether or not someone gets out there and says something about it and is passionate about it, and you don't like the way somebody said it, well, sorry, you just say, hey, look, I didn't really care for the way you said it. Could you explain it? I mean, were you really pissed off about it? Were you nasty about it? Explain yourself. Don't go after somebody just because you didn't like the way they said it. It doesn't make it. We're adults here. Attacking someone is not going to do a damn thing for anybody. And I'll tell you this. Today was my last day on YouTube. And I was trying to figure out, why should I stay on this with all this shit going on like this? Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Because I just figured out why the hell I should stay on here. I'm going to stay because I'm going to make sure that people aren't going to get trampled on each other for dumbass reasons, is a way that you just didn't like the way somebody said something. Now, am I going to be nasty about it? Hell no. I'm going to be like I'm always. I'm going to be diplomatic about it. But I'm going to put you in your place. I'm going to set you straight. Hey, she didn't mean it that way. Let's talk about this. But right now, I'm pretty pissed off the way some. I'm not going to call anybody out. I'm just going to say the way some people were treating Peachy. Peachy's a good friend of mine. Everybody makes mistakes. Every last one of us makes mistakes. That's why in the biblical times they said, "Let ye who not has sinned cast that first stone." None of them did it. We all sin. So I think that from this point forward, I think we can all agree that when we're talking about different things, let's just remember that we are adults and we need to discuss it and get over it. We're not ever going to agree on things. We're never going to do that. It's never going to happen.
Well, PD, just going off, thinking about what, as you were speaking, and I'm thinking, I would say that I would have cut off that chat. If I were him, if I were Brian, New England, I would have completely cut that chat off. If he's going to put that child up there on an adult channel, then cut the damn chat off. If y'all didn't like what people were saying in the chat while she was up there, example, this is inappropriate. This may or may not be against YouTube guidelines. I guess I was wrong when saying that it was against YouTube guidelines. But cut the freaking chat off then. Well, if you're gonna put a child on an adult channel, then cut the chat off.
But again, what is appropriate to me and you, Peachy, may not be the same for someone else. Now, I agree. We're probably a little bit more critical because we're around children, or you were more so than I was, but we're a little bit more critical of it because we were around kids, and we have to be. But a lot of parents, they don't think that way, and the fact
guys,
I would never put my kid on something like that, but that's me.
His channel is already selected as adults, so let's just end that debate now. Number two,
okay, hold on, Sancho, hold on, not number two. Let's stay with number one. How do you know his channel is tagged for adults?
Because if you go to like the settings of his page, it's not a children channel; it's all adult channel.
Well, all I kept hearing was many people, including CFW, that you have to be monetized before you make that option. No.
Every time you go on and publish, you have to say it's not safe for children and children not allowed to comment.
That's right.
He literally, and he didn't learn from his lesson and end the stream and do an adult conversation after. He continued it on the same stream. He didn't learn from his mistakes at all.
In fact, that's every video and every live stream. There's now on StreamYards, that option isn't actually available on StreamYards, so I can understand why some people might not be aware that strictly, because I think it automatically sets it to a default setting on YouTube so I can understand that people might not know that has to happen.
Really good points there.
And that would be a good thing for everybody to kind of pass around and then talk about different the different settings on YouTube versus StreamYard.
Why would you subject your child with an adult channel? Why? Why not err on the side of caution? She has her own. This is my opinion. She has her own channel. But this is just, again, I'm going to agree to disagree with Brian and Zombie and a lot of people on and Wamito. You were there and disagree with Wamito. He was pretty much for what they were talking about on that panel. So we can agree to disagree. I would certainly not put a child in that situation. Never, ever, never.
Okay, and that's fine. That's what's great about this country. We can agree to disagree, and that's fine. And I'm willing to bet. I'm willing to bet dinner that this probably will never happen again. I'm pretty sure it won't.
No, it will, because he loves the. No. He's benefiting off the attention. He's probably rubbing his labia right now, loving this attention right now. I know that person. He loves any negative feedback. He's praising Shiva for all the truth talking he's been doing because he loves the negative feedback. He literally rubs himself over this stuff. And number two, he's claiming it's a private channel. It is not a private channel. Anyone and everyone can click on that and post whatever they want. It's lie after lie after lie to the point where he just loves the attention.
Well, then I guess it really
just
doesn't
to clarify. Just to clarify, I haven't been speaking any truth as far as News New England is concerned. All I've been doing is asking him the same question over and over again. Where did he get that list from? That's it.
I don't know anything about that.
Guys, there's a video from last night's live stream of him and Josh Abrams talking, and the child's in the back seat and he's swearing multiple times. This is enough, guys.
I'm gonna drop down the chat, Peachy.
All right, I appreciate you, Mike. All right, later. Have a good day.
Yeah, guys, I got to go too. I'm still remodeling my house. I just was hearing this, and you know me, I got to say something. I guess I don't know. I shouldn't.
Well, CD, thank you for coming on.
I'd say it was my pleasure, but I don't. This time it wasn't really, but I come on to help. I don't come on to piss people off and to ruffle feathers. I just want to help, but
that's what it's all about.
I think it was going on too long, and people were getting attacked. Everybody was kind of getting attacked in one shape or form, and it was going all over the place. And I'm not really sure this 10-panel thing is going to work that well, you know. But
10 opinions all at the same time.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Well, it's I think that I would have handled it differently if I'd have had. I think having that many people on a phone, on an iPhone, where I have some difficulties anyway. I think I'm learning now after this evening that the more people I have up here, the more technical issues I'm going to have. I think that what I would do certainly next time with something this controversial is get on the desktop where I'm going to have a lot more control and I'm going to be able to actually run my panel. And PD, I think what I would do is I would probably mute each and every one of us and choose two people, unmute those two people. If anybody unmutes themselves, they're going to be kicked off the panel. And then have two people. Huh?
If you mute them, they can't unmute themselves.
No, they can. They can unmute. They can unmute.
Oh.
So finally, when I got a grip, when I came back and I could speak without static, I could, it gets to the point where this is a deal. I'm going to mute every single one of you. We're going to figure out who wants to speak and have two people speak. And then if you unmute, you're going to be down in the basement or be kicked off panel. So there's got to be some rhyme and reason. I'm the worst person to step on people, and I acknowledge that. And I interrupt, especially when I get upset and I feel like I'm getting attacked and my voice is not heard. So that's why I decided to open up my own panel. But oh my God, I'm glad that you're staying around, PD. I'm very happy about that.
Thank you.
Yeah, that I just was trying to figure out some reason, and I couldn't come up with one. And I got a lot of emails, I got a lot of phone calls asking not to do it, not to do it, and then I don't understand what's the big deal. I'm just one person. Um, I really don't. And I had a problem with this a couple of years back with I couldn't figure out what the hell was such a big deal about me, and I went through some soul searching down in Florida to search out some people that I had picked on many years ago, and I had a real problem with it. And I found these people, even hired people to look for them. And what I found was that apparently I did a lot more for them than I had imagined. Instead of just picking on them, I actually protected them from being bullied, even though that I felt that I was bullying them. And it turns out that it wasn't that way. So it was, and this is kind of the same situation, only on the internet. So I was trying to figure out what the hell am I doing here and why. And I just talk to people. I don't do anything for them, like that. But then when I heard this going on, I'm thinking, maybe this is what I'm supposed to do on the internet instead of being in person. Maybe I'm supposed to get on here and say, whoa, 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 wait, stop this nonsense. Let's talk about this and get kind of maybe a moderator, well, not a mod, but a moderator, as far as that goes. And maybe that's what I'm here to do. Yeah, mediator. Yeah, there you go.
I've been raised like, if this happened in public and someone was called a whack job 15 times, I jump in right away to cut it off because it's disrespectful to women. In my opinion, that's just the way I'm brought up.
I wasn't calling. I did call someone white trash on there. I wasn't. Who was that, Sancho, saying that?
Paul. I almost said his real name. Paul.
No, the other guy. The other guy that was a mod.
Who's your news now?
Huser. Yeah, where is he? Why do he can talk all big and bad and whatnot for Brian, but where's his voice up here now when he might be Huser, come up here and speak. I bet he's listening to everything, so why not come up on panel? I came on your turf. I came on Brian's panel, so why not come up here and speak? Just a coward. I mean, he can sit there and call me a whack job and this and that. And I have a question for Brian. Hold on, Brian. I wish you would come back up here on panel, but I have a question, Brian. Are you going to put you're going to put Victoria back in your chair to do what you did today? Would you, since it's okay, and you were in the room and your wife was in the room, are you going to put her back in your seat to do what you did today? That would be a yes. By the way, that would be a yes/no question answer.
I would hope not.
No, well, if he's sticking by his decision, PD, and he is, he was in the room, his wife was in the room. It's not against YouTube policy, according to other people, and that's okay. Then apparently he's going to do it again.
Well, see, what I'm saying.
I don't understand why he didn't do it on her channel, to be honest, because you can do that with StreamYard. You can just point it to a different channel, like and maybe that would have been the wiser course of action, perhaps. I don't know. Or as you say, turning chat off. I mean, maybe I'm not a parent, but if I were, I'd probably not want to expose my kids to the sort of chat that tends to occur in one of Brian's streams.
See, to me, I would hope that him and his wife would not do it, but it's ultimately up to them to see fit how they want to bring up their child. I would hope that they would not, but I'm not going to bash them for it because again, it's their decision to do it. But I would I don't know, lack of a better term, beg them not to do it, because there's a lot of nasty people and weird stuff out there that could blow a kid's mind, and they're just not built for that.
PD, I have a question for you.
Sure do.
Hey, Jason, Trippy, welcome back.
Hey,
Do you
Jason.
think that? Do you think with this YouTube community, and not just 1A community, the YouTube community, all of us, okay? I don't care where you're coming from, Discord, the 1A, I don't care. Do you think this YouTube community would be better off with me in it or without me?
Well, definitely better with you.
Okay, and we're going to say the same thing. And we're going to say the same thing about you, PD, that this community would be better with or without you, and it's definitely with you.
Well, let me put it this way. They, for the end of time, everybody has always said 2 heads are better than 1. Okay? So if they're saying 2 heads are better than 1, then 10 heads are better than 2, and so on and so on and so on. So if we have 1 million people on the web thinking of fixing one problem, that means we got 1 million heads that are using their brain power to come up with a solution, even if it's just one solution to one problem. I mean, the computing power of that is astronomical. We're going to come up with a solution. But if you start dropping one of those people out of that solution, that one person could be coming up with the critical component that brings up to the next guy, that brings up that component of the next component, and it could stop the whole wax.
He's saying he's backstage. He's saying he's backstage. I don't know if Brian's actually backstage, Peachy, but he's saying he's backstage.
Okay, give me just a second. Jason, I had to give you because I need.
You're crackling.
Your robot
It's not really contributing to me.
audio.
He's calling her a coward right now, which is really nice to do. Call Peachy a coward. Good job, Brian.
Nah, she's having technical difficulty. Come on.
I don't understand. I don't understand how you guys are. I don't understand how you guys are up here saying, they called her a whack job or whatever they exactly said. I mean, she came on the panel and started calling CFW I forget exactly what she said, but like
white trash.
White trash.
They have issues. They have issues. That's why.
In my opinion, white trash is way better than way worse than whack job. I mean, if we're talking about defending women, how you guys are saying, oh, you would defend women.
And Brian jumped in and told Peachy not to say that again, and then 15 more times she was called a whack job. That's why, Trippy.
I know, but you're not even mentioning that she still said it though, regardless if he defended.
Wow, you actually let me up. Unbelievable. I've been in the backstage 15 minutes. You coward.
No, hold on. No, I know, Brian. Hold on, Brian. Brian,
and you wouldn't let me up, you coward bitch. Bye.
Brian.
Later.
Brian.
Hold
on.
Whoa.
Hold on. Hold on, guys. Oh my God. Hold on, guys. Brian, I'm having technical issues. I don't want to leave anyone backstage in any amount of time. I apologize. Okay? Chill, please. All right.
Where'd you get
Hold
that
on. I'm
list
going to let
from,
you
Brian?
talk. Hold on, guys. I'm going to ask Brian a question. Brian, would you let your Victoria back on like you did today?
I don't have to. I'm building her own page. And she's going to invite the people she wants on. Because she wants nothing to do with you scumbags. And I don't blame her. She wants nothing to do with the First Amendment audit people. But so you guys have done exactly what you wanted. You managed to take a 9-year-old kid and turn her against the First Amendment people.
You did.
Congratulations.
Not us. Not us. You did. Congratulations.
Why did you ask me that question and then leave me backstage. You knew I was
didn't
back
know.
there. Don't give me that
No,
bullshit.
I did.
Where'd you get?
PG,
I
Where'd you
don't
get
know
that
I
lie.
list
was
from?
back there. You
Where'd
I
you
don't
get that list
lie.
other
from?
people and not letting
Where,
me up. You are a
where'd you get that
coward.
list?
Brian,
You were
Where'd you get that list,
hold on.
Brian?
your question for Pete.
You
For
loved her a
freaking
month ago.
confused. Don't
Where'd
She
you
give
was
get
me
your
that
that
best
list?
mod a
bullshit.
month ago.
I've got a question for
Brian,
Brian.
Now, Sheila, shut the frig up. If
I've
you
got a
think I'm
question for you,
stupid
Brian.
enough to answer your question, when I've
Where'd you
already
get that
told you
list
we're
from?
in the middle
Did you
of
make it up,
deciding if
Brian?
we're
Did you invent
putting
it?
that into
Did you
freaking
invent
court,
it, Brian?
then
Did
that's
you
what
make
I'm
it
going
up
to
in
tell
your
you.
head? Did you make it
Sheila,
up in your head, Brian?
Sheila,
Did you make it up, Brian?
Sheila, are you really that much of an idiot? Really, seriously?
Where'd you get that list from?
Do you not know the U.S. law? I know you're in
Where'd you
the.
get
I
that
know
list
you're in the
from?
UK, and I
You're not
know you
suing
may have.
anybody. You're
You
lying.
may
You already
have
talked
someone.
about
You
it
need
already.
You may have
you
someone, but
need a
Sheila,
name and a
are you
location
really
to sue
stupid
someone.
enough? Are
You
you
need a
really
name
stupid
and
Peachy, can
enough?
I say
location.
something? I need to say something to Peachy real quick. Can I say something, Peachy?
go ahead.
I want to tell Brian that I do believe Peachy when she said she's having technical difficulties because I was also in the backstage for quite a while, and she
That's
didn't
As was
true. Thank
I.
you, Trippy.
As was
And
I for
she's
about
not a
40
coward,
minutes.
bitch.
Yeah, Shiva was too. Brian,
Yeah.
I've missed 65% of the show because of I'm running the show off my iPhone. So you can shake your head. I don't lie, and that's just how it is.
And also, Brian,
tampon.
you need a name and location to sue somebody, and you don't have either. Do you? You don't have either. No, you don't. You don't even know you're muted, do you?
I know.
I have his name and I have all that stuff. I have his name, his address, and everything. Absolutely.
Really? All right.
Say the
So
name,
where'd you get that
Brian.
list from?
I don't need
Brian,
to
say
say
the
the name.
name.
I don't need to say the
Brian,
name.
say the name.
No, I don't
Go
want
ahead,
to say
say the
the
name.
name. No, I don't need
Go
to
ahead.
say the name. No, I don't want to say the name. Because then
So
that
you
would
don't have the
show
name.
that you were a liar when you said you had somebody served. See, that's why we're trying to
Say the
decide whether
name.
we're going to sue you. Is we're in the process of
Right.
finding you.
Finding him.
He
So
put
he's saying,
the funny little name
so
up.
there's no lawsuit.
See,
There's no lawsuit without a location. Oh, what an idiot! You made
like I
this
said
up,
to you,
Brian.
we're in the
Just
process
admit
of
it.
finding
Just
him.
admit it. Just
What a
admit you made the
finding
list
him.
up. Just admit it.
Shiva,
Admit you
This is
made
all
it up.
petty. This is all
Shiva,
petty.
Are you really that stupid? I mean, seriously, is it just a UK law that you think you can talk like that about pending litigation? Is that a UK law, or are you that
So
stupid?
you're suing me for
Are you
calling
gonna
me a child
Are you
molester.
going to just mute me and leave those other idiots with their mics all unmuted so they can interrupt me? Is that what you're?
No,
is that the way
no,
you're
I
going to run your
won't. Go
panel?
ahead.
If that's
No,
the way
I
you're going
won't,
to run
Brian.
the
Go
panel,
ahead.
I don't need to be on this goddamn
No,
panel.
go ahead, Brian.
He's running away.
All right.
Oh my word!
I'm on mute. I'm on mute. How can you sue someone for calling them a child molester? Trippy, like, do you have the answer for that?
No, I think that whole conversation that y'all just had was very immature, and I don't know anything really on that. What's going on?
So calling someone a child molester is immature?
He called you a child molester?
Yeah.
Yeah, you clearly don't subscribe to Shiva's channel because you were in that video where he called me a child molester and lied and said he didn't. So, yeah.
Oh, you're talking about a predator. He called you a predator.
Isn't that
Is
what
that
a child molester is?
A sexual
Yeah, I was just
predator.
making sure I was just making
Yeah.
sure we were on the same video. I mean,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
I said,
yeah.
I think it's immature. I don't think he should have called you that. No, but I think the whole situation is immature.
And should he have called her a coward bitch just now as well?
It's okay. It's all
No, I
Drippy.
don't
You don't
agree
have
with
to
that.
answer that.
I don't agree. I'm not. I'll answer. I'm open, but I don't agree with that. I even said, "Whoa!" I don't agree with that at all. But I mean, I don't agree with Peachy going on his panel and calling CFW. I keep forgetting what she called her, but I think
white
that
trash.
was very.
White
I think
trash.
that
Well,
was very inappropriate.
it wasn't
White
that
trash.
impactful if you forget what he said. What she said, it wasn't that impactful.
Well,
But,
I
I mean,
mean, regardless, I'm not the one coming on
I
here
didn't.
though.
Okay, hold on, Trippy.
What?
I can admit to my mistakes of calling her white trash. I do believe she's white trash, but I can say that on my panel, calling News New England's panel, calling her out. We have a personal grievance, So I think that she was very biased going up there. I don't think that would prevent her from. She wouldn't have had a different stance regardless, even with her personal feelings against me. But yeah, I shouldn't have said that. And I didn't. If you notice, I didn't call anyone else names on that panel. I didn't call Huser, News Now England. He even put me backstage, which he had a right to. If I can't shut up if I'm interrupting people, then they've got he had a reason to put me backstage, but I didn't call him names. So, it is what it is. We all get upset, and I'm not holding that against Brian for calling me names, Sancho. That's fine. I do kind of holding against him a little bit for him not staying up here and haven't trying to, and I
Me
don't know.
too. All I asked
stayed up
what
on
my
his
name
panel.
was.
I stayed up on his panel for a long time, and he's been up and down 3 times on this panel. And when it gets hot, he jumps off.
I'm
How do we get
curious.
him to say my name?
I'm curious, Trippy, as to what you think would be the mature response to somebody implying that you're a sexual offender.
A mature response. I honestly, I don't know. To be
Like
honest.
if you were in Sancho's position, how would you respond?
I don't think bashing them back and making videos about it and all that. I think that's all petty, immature shit. I don't think what is that actually doing? And this whole thing of the lawsuit, and I think that's all petty. You know what I mean? Like,
Right?
but
I'm asking you what would be the non-petty way of dealing with the situation.
I honestly don't know. I've never been in that situation. I can't tell you something off the top of my head like that. I honestly don't know.
I mean, because I'm going to be honest, if somebody falsely accuses you of a heinous crime, I think we can all agree that being a sexual predator is heinous, right? I don't think it's petty to want to respond to that.
No, absolutely not. But like, if somebody called me that, I'm carrying on with my day. I know I'm not a sexual predator. I know I don't do any of that shit. So, stuff like that doesn't really bother me. But I've never been put in that situation.
Right. Okay. But I mean, you are aware that like false accusations like that can destroy someone's life.
Yeah, I'm aware of that. Yes.
And it's like this isn't the same as someone calling somebody a twat on a panel and then drama ensuing because of that. I actually think this is much more serious, right? Because he's accusing somebody of a really heinous crime because of because he doesn't like him. And I think that needs to be called out and challenged consistently. I will challenge him wherever we're on panel together until he answers that fucking question where he got that list from. We all know he made it up, right? I mean,
so I want to actually talk to Sancho real quick. So Sancho made, correct me if I'm wrong, but you made a video, and I watched your video. I'm actually subscribed to your channel, about the whole Predator video, and somebody made a comment and said, Trippy doesn't look like he wants to be on camera or something. Why News New England's talking about that, and I want to respond to that comment. I agree with that. I thought that whole conversation that they were having before I even got on that panel was when I say petty, I mean everything, not just what Sancho's doing. What News New England is doing with this whole situation is also petty. I'm neutral. Obviously I go on News New England's channel all the time. I like him as a person. I like what he's doing over there, but my opinions are my opinions, and I think the whole situation all around is petty. I mean, calling somebody a predator. But by the way, in Sancho's video, he said that people were saying no. I generally did not realize that he called you a predator, and that's like 100% the truth. But yeah, I think it's petty all around, to be honest.
I think it's petty that a big reason why he called me a predator was because I interviewed a predator poachers group. The same group 2 hours ago he was discussing for about 10-15 minutes.
And I personally, I thought, honestly, and I'm not just saying this, I thought the interview with the predator poachers was a good interview. And I actually was in the stream watching it. I thought it was a very interesting. But somebody's entitled to their feelings. I don't think the way he went about it was the right way, of course. But I mean, we're all human. We all make mistakes. But yeah, that's.
But what if people start to believe that I am a child molester because of what he said for about 3 days straight?
I mean, like I said, I don't agree with what he did.
Argue back.
I'm sorry?
Like when it comes to somebody calling out and saying you're a predator and you're a pedophile and shit, it's all in how you react. I find if you keep fighting it, then it makes one wonder. But if you just brush them off, it's like whatever.
I think that's a good. I think it is how you respond to that. Somebody's feedback. I can hear myself, and I hate that. I hate my voice. But I think you brought up a good point. It's how you react to the allegations. If I'm walking down the street and somebody's across the street and points over at me and says, he's a rapist, I'm really not going to respond. I'm going to go about my day. I'm not really going to. But I do understand what you're saying. It's on a public platform where he has a pretty big audience. So I could see where you're coming from. But I think both sides have been pretty petty on that situation.
I don't see where I've been petty.
It's funny. I'm subbed to a channel called Abbott and Preach, which is a couple of Canadian, I think, comedians, and they put a video out today or yesterday in the last few days, which is kind of opposite. It's some bloke was essentially right. So this woman lied to her kids and said that their father had sexually molested them, and she fed this story to them throughout their childhoods, and then it turns out that this was all fabricated, and he was denied access to his kids for the entire I don't know how long exactly. I didn't watch the entire video. Yes. I kind of watched half of it or so. So I kind of disagree with the argument that I think if you can brush it off, great. That's actually probably a really good response. If you can just kind of go, if you're able to just kind of go, yeah, no, that's bollocks, and just ignore it. Like, fair enough. That's kind of brilliant. But what if you work with kids, and then you've got someone making kids? What if you have kids? Right, yeah, right, exactly. I think, have you got YouTube open? He's got no headphones on. That's what it is, isn't it?
Yeah, he's Jason sounds like he's always in the Grand Canyon. always for a long time, and he won't fix it for whatever reason. My God, we'll do a PayPal pull for you, Jason.
I would love to say some things. So that an awful lot of water has passed since I decided to come back in. But there's the first one thing I would like to clear up with Peachy, if I may. There was some noise about people being timed out in the chat, and specifically that Swami was timing out News New England, and I think he was doing so entirely appropriately. And I know you love to have an open chat and not have anybody not have any banishment of comments, but the nature of the comments that News New England was making was such that you would not want to allow it on your channel. He was saying the sort of things. Well, what he actually said was, actually it wasn't News New England. It was somebody else. Somebody else had said, "News New England, thank you for introducing to my daughter. I'm going to sub to her channel and watch her all the time," or words to that effect.
That needs to be blocked.
Yeah, and
Yes.
and look, I don't care. I don't unsub. I pretty much trust my mods. Okay, up until someone says I got a rogue mod that's
Yes.
timing out or banning for personal reasons, whatever.
Indeed.
Yeah,
somebody
so
blocked
that's
Indeed.
Mouse just
yeah.
for saying hello. So
Indeed.
go
The point here is that the point here is that people were applying your hard and fast rule that people shouldn't be banned,
No,
and
yeah,
berating the moderator that was hiding the person saying this for doing that. And I know for a fact, because I know who you are, I know who you are, that
yeah,
you wouldn't, that this particular moderator who was timing this person out and banning them was doing so entirely in line with your principles, and I wanted to clarify that
thank you,
because
unsub.
it was important for the moderators in the chat to know that. Yes.
Yeah, well, we
Um.
need people. Yeah, we need people to. I need more people to come up here sometimes and let me know what's going on. I certainly
Yeah.
can't run this show and run this
Yes.
chat. Maybe I shouldn't have run a show this controversial on my phone. Maybe I should have gone to the other house and got on a desktop. But that's
I don't even think that's true, to be honest, Peachy. I think what actually needs to happen is that people need to understand the spirit of the law rather than the letter of the law. Yes. So when you say don't ban people, what that means is let people speak freely. But there are some modes of speech that we can't find acceptable. Yes.
Well, there's the
That's my
terms of
point.
service, and I mean, there's the terms of service. If you break the terms of service, then the mods do their thing, right?
Yeah.
Well, and
So,
not just terms of service, but what Unsub was saying, that there's some, like I did just time out somebody for kind of putting somebody's first and last name, not their channel name, but their first and last name, and bringing up meth and stuff like that. And I did time this person out, but so you guys know without me having to go in detail of some of my rules. It's common sense. It's common
yes.
sense. And if you don't have common sense, then you don't need a wrench. And so maybe
And I will, yeah. And I was trying. The problem is that the problem is that you have a lot of mods in here, probably stemming from the Atlanta shit where you had to have, but the hard and fast rules are difficult to apply. I think that people need to apply a modicum of intelligence as well, and that what Swami was doing was entirely appropriate for your channel. He was hiding shit that you would not want to be associated with, and people saying things that you would not want to be associated with, and other people were unhiding on the basis that you were saying free speech. Yes, because free speech isn't free of consequence, and we all understand that, or should. Yes. Does that make sense?
yes, thank you, Unsub. I appreciate you coming back up here. I really do.
Peachy, can I say something to you?
Yeah, go ahead.
So I'm just gonna ask you a question. So do you think, like, let's say nobody said anything in the chat on News New England's panel with his daughter, and let's say that conversation carried out, and obviously the stream would have ended by now, I'm sure. Do you think there would have been, now there was a porn bomb at the end of the stream, do you think that would have been there if his daughter was still on the stream? Or do you think somebody did that when News New England, when they saw that Brian was on the stream?
That's really hard to answer because there's people like to porn bomb whenever they get the opportunity. So they just took that opportunity, but they take any opportunity they can. So I can't say it was because of maybe a get back at him because of his daughter. I can't say that. That's the scary thing, Trippy, about all of this, because people will take advantage anytime they can to try to wreck a stream with porn. It doesn't matter. It's happened to me 2 or 3
Yeah.
times.
And that's
could I
why I
also
agree
say,
with you that you don't think that his daughter should be on there. That's why I agree with you. That's the big reason I agree with you. But and this is an opinion because we can't prove this. I do not think that Pornbaum would have been on there if his daughter stayed on stream and News New England didn't intervene the stream. So I don't think that
I have a
stream was
question.
porn-bombed at all.
He's been porn bombed a lot, Trippy. Not just
Oh, I
today.
know.
He's
Trust
been
me, I
porn
know.
bombed.
How the fuck
He was
did
porn
we
bombed when I
talking
was
about
with
porn
him. He was porn
bombs?
bombed when I left. He gets porn bombed a lot.
It's the chances of him being porn bombed on that channel were much of his daughter being porn bombed were much higher than if, say, he'd introduced her to StreamYards on her channel.
Absolutely.
You know,
Yeah, but he already talked about that.
point.
He
Hold
already
on, guys.
talked about that.
Well, yeah, but but what I'm saying is, you're right. If the conversation hadn't have gone the way it had gone, chances are he probably wouldn't have been porn bombed, right? Probably.
And now he's accusing Peachy or me of porn bombing. You see how it's a never-ending roller coaster with him?
But the likelihood of porn bombing occurring on that channel are way higher than they would be on his daughter's channel. And I understand she has one. You know, that's what people were saying in the chat, I think. So, or if she doesn't have one, it's pretty fucking quick to make one.
He's yelled at people in the chat for talking bad when his daughter's in the room. It's a double standard with him.
I think
right, that casts it in a different light, doesn't it?
He's literally has yelled, "How can you talk like that with a minor in the room?" That's what he said multiple times on his stream. Because the kid always pops in the stream, and then he plays the victim like, "How could you talk like that?" You know, with a minor in the room. Then he invites the minor to take over the show for 40 minutes, and then plays the victim after saying she's crying. Like, come on.
Right, that's absurd.
Well, I take exception to that. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So I was going to say that's absolutely absurd. I mean, my mode of parenting, my children are all grown now; they're in their 30s. But my mode of parenting was always that shielding your children from the realities of the world is not doing them any service. That that they should kind of be exposed to it. You need to temper the exposition so that they learn on a curve, so that you're not showing them people's throats getting cut at fucking 2 years old, but that you're not actually working that hard to shield them. You're making sure they see the world the way it is by the time they reach adulthood, rather than have it all rush in when they become of age to kind of to experience this shit on their own. But
I have a question for Sancho when you're done. When you're done.
The simple fact for me is, the simple question for me is always, at what point do we think there's actually a line? Do we think there's a number that we can put on when somebody can deal with something? Because if we really think there's a number we can put on the age that somebody can deal with something, then we're not thinking very clearly at all, because we're not all the same. The numbers are arbitrary, and it's not nearly. We like to put hard and fast lines between this and that. We like to put things into boxes, but nature doesn't work like that. Yeah, the real world isn't like that. Does that make sense? Am I even being coherent? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think you make sense. Yeah. So Sancho, are you there? I actually had a question for you. I don't think Sancho's here.
I had some questions for Sancho as well, but who knows?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Apparently, I'm a slime ball.
I wanted to ask you, Sancho, and anyone else who agrees with this. So, Sancho, You know, a little bit ago, you said if you were in public and you heard somebody being called a whack job, you would defend them. If they were being called a whack job 15 times, you would defend them. And I didn't watch this video, so I'm not gonna quote anything that you said on the video. But didn't you like curse out CF? And I don't even know who CFW really is, but didn't you?
So why
like,
are you speaking? So why are you speaking without any evidence of proof?
Well,
anything?
did you not curse at her?
No, I did not call her a bitch. I have already stated on this stream with you on the panel that I did not call her a bitch. He lied and brought a hospital.
Did you say
Did not
anything
call her
in
a bitch.
a negative way?
Called her a stupid idiot because she is a stupid idiot.
You called her a lot of things. I was there.
What did I call her, Sub-Press? Can we give examples instead of?
Well, listen. I listen to thousands of people talking shit all the time. So you want me to remember a specific example?
Well, you were drinking when you were on that panel as well. That might have played a part that you don't remember anything. But I'm looking for any shred of evidence or proof of what I said about CFW.
No. Drunk or sober, my
because
memory is flawless.
Because I was on her live stream the next day, so I'm looking for any proof of me calling her any names.
And I'm looking for proof of me cursing when my daughter was in the room, Sancho.
And I'm looking for
proof
that me or Peachy Ryder, and I'm looking for proof of the list of me being a child molester. You're not going to provide that, nor are you going to provide proof that Peachy and I porn bombed you. Oh.
Cursing.
Did I say?
Sorry. Give me a second. Sorry, please, people, give me a second. News New England. Is that the accusation that you were cursing when she was in the room?
Well, that's what he just said. He just said that I cursed with my daughter in the room, and I'm asking.
Okay,
do you have
so
proof of me doing that?
So words.
Will you close your channel if I provide it?
Yeah, didn't you know?
Will you close your channel if I provide that?
No, because it wouldn't surprise me if you.
No, because you don't have any ethics.
Because I want to see you. No, you're saying something that you think to be absolute. So show me.
That's what you do. That's what you do.
Wait, hold
That's
on.
exactly what you do, Brian.
Sancho, hold on. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Did someone accuse me of porn bombing?
Fucking loser.
Hold on.
I never accused you. I said someone here probably was the one who did it, and I never said panel. So someone had a guilty complex. I never said someone.
No, you said the two. One of those two did it. You said on the chat.
I never said that. I said someone here may have been the one who did it.
Verbal tampon.
I didn't say someone on the panel.
You said another verbal tampon.
Very, very guilty complex, Sancho.
You have a verbal tampon in your mouth.
Why do you have such a guilty complex, Sancho?
You're a pathological liar. Where's the list of me being a predator?
Come on, Sancho. Why such a guilty complex? Come on, Sancho.
Scummy fat fuck.
Speak up, you. Come on, Sancho.
Get Josh.
Be a man. Be a man and speak up.
That's why you're
on, Sancho. I know more about you than anybody else because you and I work together.
Okay, what do you know about me? What do you know about me? What do you know about me?
I'm going to let everybody find it out for themselves. And then
well,
I'm going to be the one
publicly you said it's been a lie and you don't take accountability. So what do you know about me?
Sitting back laughing about it.
What do you know about me?
I'm going to be the one sitting back laughing about it.
Okay, what do you know about me?
That's right, my boy.
So is she a coward bitch still?
When everybody,
okay, I think I'm done here.
Saying, I'm the one that's right.
I'm surprised. Don't go.
And then you have Shove It up there, who Shove It the scam, scam maker. You know, who thinks that the law in the UK is the same law in the United States.
No, I don't think that.
Well, you must, because you come up with this ignorant ideas that somebody's going to be stupid enough to talk about a case where the case is when you're working on that case. You're really, are you that stupid, Chief? You may be that stupid. I'm not. And again, I'm not insulting you because of your mentality. I'm just asking, are you that stupid to think that you would speak about a case when your lawyers ask you not to speak specifics? Do you think
Time out. News New England, please.
Yes.
Give me a second.
Absolutely.
So a couple of things.
Yep.
First, much as I hate the UK, and I really do, I fucking love the place. I grew up as an Irishman in this place, being lurching from beating to beating because I was Irish. So Nobody hates the English more than you do, more than I do, I promise. Yet, this is still a country where we value education and critical thinking, and we teach people, and we learn reality. So, this is a specious claim. Right. Second. Right. Moving on. El Sancho, please unmute so I can speak to you.
Sorry, that was beautiful. He's not going to understand what specious claim means on Subprints.
Hey, Balance, you fucking moron. I'm not a Scouse. Scouse? I'm fucking Irish, you prick.
Shiva, you're a dickhead.
Okay.
Shut
Sancho.
Why is Shiva a
Sancho,
dickhead?
listen. Hang on, let me just finish because I'm going in a minute, I promise. So, El Sancho, I would love to discuss with you. I'm not going to come on some other fucker's panel to chat with you because
I invited you on my own channel and you didn't show up.
Well, you were going to have lots of other people there. You and I should have a private chat, and let's iron out our differences in the background, and then we can talk about a public.
I want to ask the panel a question when he's
because I think that
Well,
I
you
think
seem
that
like
would
an
be
intelligent
useful.
dude. You seem like an intelligent dude, though.
Yeah, I don't think you're an idiot, and I think
I don't
that
think you are either.
if we were doing it in public, the danger is that we would devolve into shouting and trying to score points. And I think we should actually try to see what points of confluence we have first and see where we go from there. And then maybe we can find out where our differences are and have a public discussion on those. I think we should try and bury the hatchet, as it were, and smooth things out.
I didn't know there was issues between you and me.
Well, no, there weren't. I've
better
had
be
one
careful.
experience.
He'll make videos about you. Be careful. Careful what you say.
I'm not scared about that.
You will be his
I'm not scared of that. Well, hang on. Shut up, please.
No.
Let me finish. Let me finish my comment. My one and only experience of you was on Carolina's chat, where you pretty much laid into her. I don't think you ever called her names, but you were extremely disparaging, and you pissed me off, and I came at you, and I fully appreciate that I came at you because I was really pissed off. I don't think that that's the way to proceed. I think that if we sat down, had a chat behind closed doors, and then aired our differences in public once we've found our common ground, I think we will probably do something quite productive. But I think we do have issues to resolve. Shiva, I will definitely come on your chat. Trippy, I have no fucking idea who you are, but you seem reasonable. News New England. I've seen you in chats and shit, bouncing around stuff. Looking forward to more of that. Hey, Balance.
Excuse me, unsub.
You're
Excuse
a
me.
moron.
Hold on a second, unsub. Hold on, unsub. Womps, I need to see your face, please. Womps, I need to see your face, please, before I can bring you up.
I'm going to move out.
All right. Okay, thank you, unsub. Have a good day.
Oh,
I don't know who Womps is.
Tarquin Bojangles, Scousers, don't do them.
Okay, the issue with Sancho is Sancho's. I dealt with him for 2 or 3 weeks before we finally decided he just was not cut out for our channel. He's a little baby. You have to babysit him all along the way. He cries. If anybody steps on his toes, he's gonna come.
That's a lie. I left on my own. Don't lie on our channel.
He's gonna come and cry.
You know I lied on my own. I left on my own.
Every time somebody comes and it say something about Sancho. Oh, Brian, we need to ban that person because they're talking about. And It just got to the point of where you couldn't deal with the little prick. And then he wanted to interview this person, that person. I'm like, I don't care what you do, just do it.
Okay, do you have a question for him, Brian?
Yeah, absolutely. So then all of a sudden we start to notice a trend, and so we brought the trend out. Then all of a sudden he says, "Oh, shut up, Santo! I'm trying to make my point." So then all of a sudden he tells me that we said something about him. We didn't think we did. Everybody on the panel said, no, that was not said. That was not said. So we go back through, and guess what? It was the one little thing, the way it was said was misconstrued. So we went back and we privatized it because we didn't want anybody to see that, because we did not feel that he was absolutely a predator. We did not. Nobody on the panel felt that he was. I didn't feel that he was. And nobody felt he was a predator. So we privatized it. Still privatized it. Well, guess who it is that wants to bring it out? Guess who it is? Every day you see new videos of how Sancho is a pedophile. Sancho is a pedophile. And then what's he doing? Oh, Brian's saying this about me. He's saying I'm a pedophile. Oh, look what he's doing. You guys gotta feel sorry. And I'm saying to him, Sancho, we privatized it. The only one who's saying it now is you. You're the only asshole that's bringing this out. So, and when we said it, there was only very few people who had viewed the content when we did that. Well, now guess what? People have seen what he has given for content. He has provided for content on his channel, not mine. On his channel, I have no idea I even counted it. But he says, oh, you guys all gotta feel sorry for me because Brian, he keeps telling you this about me and telling you that about me.
Okay,
and,
Brian, can you wrap it up and get with a question, please?
So the question is, Sancho, if you don't want it said about you, shut the fuck up. Because we aren't
No, you're the one.
We're not
No,
saying.
can I talk now? Because he's been on for 5
Okay,
minutes
hold
after
on.
calling you a coward bitch.
Hold on.
Anywhere that we've said that, and you're the one who's saying about you being a predator. I mean, Sandra, it's you, not us.
Okay, are you done?
So can I respond? So I was an administrator of his YouTube page even after he called me a pedophile. So everything he's saying about having uncertainties about me is a bold-faced lie, and Trippy knows. I was an administrator on that page for the longest time, and I'm sure someone told him that I was still an administrator after calling me a child predator. He was served with a cease and desist. That is the only reason why he wants a truce, and he took those videos down. He's pathological. I have the emails, Brian. Stop talking over me. You're talking over me, Brian. You coward bitch. Brian, stop being a coward bitch, Brian. You're talking over me. Stop being a coward bitch, Brian. You're talking over me.
Hold on. Let's not try to name call. Okay, hold on.
I agree.
Hold on, Sancho. Brian, I muted you. Hold on a second. Let Sancho reply, okay? And let's not try to resort to name calling, please. But we can keep
all the videos on my channel show the emails of him wanting to move on and have a truce because he got caught. He doesn't have any accountability. He spent over 9 hours talking about me being a pedophile, made up a fabricated list about it, and holds no accountability, nor will he even answer any questions about making up a fabricated list. He's a lying, disgusting person, and every time he opens his mouth, it's verbal diarrhea. And I also left because of the Josh Abrams' whole story. Nothing to do with him firing me or anything. I left on my own accord.
All right, so we good. Is this going to turn into
Oh no, he's not done
I'm good.
asking you to feel sorry for him. He's not.
I'm good. And
if he can't get you to feel sorry for him, he has no content.
He's got no remorse. That's the problem. He's got no remorse. He's got no accountability.
What's he got? Three videos, and everything else he's complaining about.
You dumb fuck! I have a video over 1,000 views. Has nothing to do with you. You're a liar. Stop lying. The last time you were on Peachy's stream, you lied, and I sent her all the videos of you lying. So stop lying.
How this person is bad mouthing him, how that person is bad mouthing. If he can't have you feel, oh, I'm so, oh God, he has nothing. He has nothing. He's just a
I saw that an hour ago from you complaining about your kid crying.
puny
You
little.
hypocrite.
He's a puny.
Let's complain about your kid crying. Wow.
Puny little pisshead. That's all there is. Puny little pisshead. Now, Peachy, I
My
thought
kid cried on YouTube. Wow.
So I don't understand, how do you get from puny little pisshead to sexual predator, Brian? How do you make that jump?
What? Sheila, you really are a fucking idiot. When I've already told you that we can't talk about. See, this is why people.
You've been talking about it. You just talked about it. Stop saying that.
You've just been talking about it for ages.
We've been talking about it. We've not been talking about it. No. So
you are a sick man, Brian.
No, like I said, there's no. Ask him to show you any legal cease and desist.
Please, YouTube, take his channel away. He doesn't know what he speaks, what he
Because he put
says.
a fictitious name on a thing that there's no signature on it because he doesn't want to sign it says that he's dishonest. So this
And the
illegal.
email showed that he fell for it like an idiot.
No, I didn't fall for it. That's why we have to find you. You dumbass.
You're a dumb idiot. You are the dumbest person on YouTube.
I thought you said if people were
Oh my word! Oh my word!
You called her a coward bitch how many times, and that's okay, Brian? Double standard sessions over here, Jesus.
Oh my word!
I enjoyed this conversation.
Brian, I have to say I've never name called you. I have to say that, and I'm not going to hold you name calling against me. Let me just say that. And one more thing, I'm so sorry.
How you break it up?
I think it's. Can you guys still hear me or no? All right, hold on. I'll be back. I'm getting a really headache.
Wilma Dickfoot says News New England is learning from the pivot master himself, also known as 10th Man. Oh my word. Oh my word.
Oh, where'd he go? Where'd he go? He left?
Yeah.
Come on. It's just contradictory beyond belief. Now he's telling everybody that he was going to kick me off the channel weeks before I left. Trippy, you yourself know that's not true. You yourself know there was an incident where I confronted Brian live on air about it, and I disappeared after that. You know, he wants everyone to believe a narrative.
I agree with you.
He wants everyone to believe a narrative. Yeah, there was a huge fight. He wanted to fight me backstage when the guy's 70 years old. And, you know, he brought Josh on multiple times when I told him not to. And then I took Josh off, and then I told him, you're a different person with Josh. A lot of people say that. That's the reason why I left, because he didn't put a video up that if you're an administrator, Trippy, go on that channel. It's still privatized. That's the first video I put up on my channel. So there was no concerns about me ahead of time. And that's just a pathological liar lying.
Sancho,
That's all that is.
let me interrupt. Let me address chat. Tay's auditors laugh like hell. I don't agree with your statement about she needs to be removed and that she has no chance in life. I'm not sure if you're just kidding about that. Anyway, I don't agree with that statement at all. And New England, I didn't call you names or curse at you. I'm not going to hold that against you. I know you're upset. And one thing I was trying to say before I refreshed is that I'm so sorry your daughter was upset, but it is disgusting of you to blame us for her emotional upset, for her being for her crying and being upset. You're blaming us is absolutely ridiculous. I don't think that there's any basis of that claim. It is. I don't think it's my fault or anyone else's fault. The reason why your daughter is upset, I think it's your fault and your wife's fault. It's your decision to bring her on an adult channel. It is not my fault that she's upset. Okay,
All
that's
right,
just
guys.
what
Have a
I
good
wanted
night.
to say.
I have to go hop on and get some like Spanish rice that I've been sitting outside the restaurant craving. Y'all have a great night. Thanks for your time.
All right, Sancho. All right. Well, now I've got a great big old headache.
Well, that was exciting, wasn't it?
Yeah. Shiva, you have any last comments?
Do I have any? I mean, yeah, I think I agree with you in that I don't think he can blame the chat for or the panel for upsetting his daughter. I think I sort of agree with unsuppressed. Like, the world is messy, and as parents, it's up to you to kind of gauge what your child can kind of handle. And I think if it was their job, one, to gauge whether she was actually ready to face New England's channel, and two, what the likely response from the chat was going to be. I mean, and how she was going to respond to that. And like, I would have hoped that perhaps afterwards they sat down and talked to her and put the whole thing into context. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, it's a funny old life, and that's my final thoughts.
Well, this is a very trying time for everyone in this world, and I'm not sitting in his home. I don't know how they parent. She seems, in my opinion, me being an outsider looking in, a very nice, well-rounded young lady. She certainly has been successful in her gymnastics and karate with her accomplishments. And as far as Brian is concerned, her school too. So I'm very proud of her in those aspects. And she seems very well spoken. So I don't, I'm not sitting here trying to tell either parent how to do things. Uh, or maybe I am. Maybe I'm sitting here saying, well, I'm sitting here saying I would not have put a child like that in on an adult channel. I'm not trying to tell. Is that trying to tell them how to parent, Shiva? With my opinion on, I think it's inappropriate with a public forum.
No, I mean, I criticize people's parenting skills all the time, and I'm never going to have kids because, I like the dick, right? I think parenting isn't a special class of behavior that is immune from criticism if you're not a parent. Following that logic, I wouldn't be able to criticize footballers for their behavior because I'm not a footballer and don't understand the pressures, right? Like, that just doesn't stack up to me. I think there's a difference. I don't think you were attacking New England. That wasn't what was happening. That certainly wasn't my sense of it from watching that stream. Yeah.
Well, and this is what I've said to, I know several close friends. If I am not to tell them the truth, or let's say my first cousin, right? And he has difficulties. Both of my first cousins have difficulties in life. And if I'm not to tell them the truth, then who will? If their other friends aren't telling them, if they're grown people and their parents aren't telling them, and I'm watching what's going on, if I'm not to tell them the truth, who's going? Who will? So we've got a bunch of people in chat watching this go on and feeling that it's a little bit, it's not very appropriate in my eyes. So if we are not the ones to kind of speak up, who is to speak up? I mean, should we not speak up? Is that crossing the line of parenting when it's on an adult channel with, yes, I'm a moderator, but I just felt like that. You know what? And I knew, Shiva and Trippy, I knew what I was stepping into. I knew. And matter of fact, I thought twice about stepping into the chat because I knew it was going to be a shit show. And I knew that when you start talking about kids and what not to do and what not to do, then it's never a good thing. Never.
And
unless
that
you're part.
argument,
Go
that
ahead.
that that argument they made about you being a moderator, that just doesn't stack up, right? I mean, that's probably a logical fallacy. So let me see. If I come to you and I say I'm criticizing your actions, and then the response is, well, you shouldn't criticize my actions because your job is to do this other thing, right? So therefore, your criticisms are invalid. What is that? That's an ad hominem.
Yes.
I think that's an ad hominem to cock, maybe. Well, no, it's an ad hominem. Let me look that up. I think that's an ad hominem. It's also a bit of a red herring, isn't it? I mean, I suppose it's a deflection, right? It's an attempt to deflect the attention away from the criticism.
Right. And that's what I thought, Shiva. And that's what I said up on panel. And I know it was I know it's very difficult for the chat to listen to all that nonsense. And then I'm raising my voice, and then I got this little petty thing going on with CFW, and she's chiming in. It was just all very confusing. At the same time, I'm still standing, I'm still trying to make that point that I agreed to disagree with all of them on the panel at that time. And I'm sorry for the chat. I'm sorry for the chat in his channel and my channel to have to. And I know it's very confusing to try to listen to everyone at the time. And it's giving me a great day.
Your audio is roboting again. It's not a two-cock. It is a red herring, though, I think. But it's not an ad hominem, I think. But I'd have to. Do you like logical fallacies, Trippy? I'm kind of obsessed about them.
Yeah, so I mean, like I said, I agree with what PG is saying. I get it. I would not, if I had kids, I would not have put my kid on a panel, especially hosted it. But the thing is there's a line, right? Like if I have my older sister, she has kids, right? If I see her doing something that might be bad parenting or something of that form, I could call her out on it because she's family. But like, this shit, I mean, I think it's a line being crossed. I feel like you should never tell. And I'm not even really talking about Peachy. I'm talking about the girl that was on here, started with an N, Nevea or something like that.
Nevea.
Calling Nevea, yeah, straight up calling him a bad parent. I think that's completely crossing the line. And then I never actually, I wanted to tell this to Sancho. I never actually got to tell him because Brian jumped in here and there was an argument. But I mean, Sancho's saying like, oh, if anyone calls somebody a whack job, he would always defend them. But and he's right. I don't know what he exactly said to CFW, but I heard it wasn't positive things. So you can't flip sides. You can't be like, oh well, I can disrespect this woman, but when it comes to this woman, we don't disrespect women. You can't play both sides. But yeah, that's really my opinion on the whole two situations.
Trippy, one thing too, with your biggest thing was me speaking out in chat, and my thing is, Trippy, it's a public forum. That's what we do, is speak out in chat. And if you don't want people to speak out in chat, especially if you have your daughter up there sitting in the hostess chair, then cut the chat off. It's a public forum, Trippy. Anyone can show up in chat. And I know that you're saying that you didn't think it was a time and place that we should have emailed and this or that, but that's not. We don't do that in chat, Trippy. It's pretty much free. It's not like that we sat there and called little Victoria names and called the dad names and called him a bad parent. No, we were just agreeing to disagree with him that we didn't think it was appropriate. How else, do we need to do this in a public forum on YouTube, Trippy, other than state it in chat? So I'm going to agree to disagree with you about that. You thought I went about it, and many other people went about it in the wrong way about speaking out in chat about it. He's the one that brought it forth. He's the one that put his daughter there. So we don't have that right in chat not to speak out.
No, you absolutely do, and I understand what you're saying. I just think like if that what I was trying to tell you before is if I think if that show ran out and let's say nobody said anything, I think that show would have ended in a positive way. Nothing inappropriate would have happened, and I think
But it didn't. But it didn't. That's ridiculous because it didn't. It didn't because like-minded people like myself cannot sit in chat and think that's okay.
I don't know, but the only thing I'm saying about handling it the wrong way is I think that the show could have carried on, nothing would have happened. You could have, hit up Brian after the show and been like, hey, I don't think you should do that. And then she wouldn't be crying. Brian and you would have probably had a nice little conversation.
But that's
and
living in La La Land, Trippy. That's living in La La Land. That was never going to happen, ever. Because you had too many people speaking out against it. You see, I'm a realist. I try not to live in La La Land.
I mean,
that's not even reality to have an open public forum and expect people not to speak out on what they're thinking, especially if they think it's right, that it's inappropriate.
Yeah, I mean,
hey, Trippy, let me refresh and then I'll wrap it up. If no one else wants to come up, I think I'm gonna be okay right now. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just saying we can agree to disagree.
Yeah, hold on. Don't trip me. Let me refresh. I apologize.
You're good. Oh wait. Ha 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 ha. Someone would concern and speak out. Please wake up. Uprising. I completely understand what you're saying, but like we're just gonna have to agree to disagree. You know what I mean? I agree with Peachy like 95%, but like that 5% of how she went about it, I think was just wrong. But we can agree to disagree.
Hey, Trippy, people kind of want to know where you. I'm not really familiar. Have we met? People kind of want to know where what your background is, or where you came from, or how long you've been in the YouTube community.
Well, I'm not really an auditor, but I watch a lot of auditors. I discovered Brian's channel through Accountability for All. I support all the auditors, but regardless of their personal or legal issues, I really don't care about that. I think we're all fighting for the same thing. But yeah, and I've never met you before. I just saw you in Brian's chat. So, but I'm 22 and I'm from New Jersey. So.
Okay, well, welcome. We appreciate, especially young folks getting involved, especially people over 18, whatever it may be. But no, that's wonderful, Trippy, that you're involved in supporting the auditors, cop watchers, and please subscribe to my channel.
Yep, already done.
Okay, great. Okay. All
What's up,
right.
Constitution?
Well,
Trippy is another frauditor. Not really. But yeah, it was nice. It was not, whenever there's a time where I can hop on a panel and have a little debate, I'm open. I really wasn't looking forward to having the debate on News New England's panel this morning because I was just, watching the show, enjoying, Paul and Victoria's conversation, and then it kind of went downhill. But yeah, I appreciate your time letting me on panel and everyone in the chat, regardless if you agree with me or disagree. Is anyone
Good
there?
afternoon.
Good afternoon. Trippy, you need to come on more often. Thank you. Trippy got a good head on his shoulders. Thank you. Is Peachy, are you there?
I believe she's having a little bandwidth issue.
New Jersey Diver. What's up, man?
Pull the ceiling, and hopefully the ceiling fan stays up there.
Hopefully, yeah.
It's keeping me cool at least.
I'm not a big fan guy. I'm more of an air conditioner kind of guy.
Oh, I have the air conditioning on. I just have it set at 80 during the
Yeah.
day because I'm usually
Yeah,
the
they
only
use a
one
lot of
home.
electricity, so
Yeah, well,
also
I
Trippy is
can't quite see who
new
just
to the
joined
auditing
us.
community. I'm not an auditor or anything like that, but I watch a lot of auditors, so people might just know about me now. But like I've been watching auditors for a couple of years now, and I've been very interested in this whole wave that's going on.
I'm not an auditor either, but
Trippy, excuse me. Divert, excuse me a second. Vital Oregon, I'm going to need to see you, please, before I let you up on panel. See something, anything, please. Yeah, I'm afraid to let Vital Oregon. I apologize.
may
I know who
have to.
Vital Organ is.
Oh,
Oh,
Vital
sorry, he is a
Organ.
criminal.
Yeah, at
Yeah,
your
I'm a
peril.
If it's who I think it is,
criminal. Yeah.
it's going to be okay. Yeah. I wanted to say something. Of course.
Well, okay, hold on. Joni, hold on a second. I know who he is too, but I'm afraid that's not him. Vital Oregon,
Okay.
can you say something, please?
Yes, it's me.
Okay, all right. Go ahead, Joni. Thank you.
Yeah, I love the idea, and Trippy, I love how you come out and you say, "Hey, it should have been handled private," and I totally agree with you. And a lot of times we do handle our things private and outside of the public streams, but there are certain people who cannot do that. So even when you send them an email or you message them or DM them, they then open a stream and then share your shit to everybody in the school. They get up on the intercom in the office and just start telling everyone about what you did in private. And so there's certain times where you have to sit back for a minute and go, there's no other way to do this. It's going to all be out here anyway. And I don't know NNE that well. I don't have any feelings about it one way or the other, but I can say that in several circumstances, I have seen how going private does no good because you're going to have to now go and defend your words anyway. So it's kind of a good idea in many cases to just come right out and say them out loud so that everyone can hear them directly and not secondhand. And for that, Peachy, I applaud you. And you know how I feel about you. I think you did good. Maybe it wasn't the right way to go about it in this one, but it's a hit or miss sometimes. If you had gone private, he probably would have had a stream calling you out anyway. So how much good would that have done? We would still be sitting here having this conversation. So in some cases, I say just go public and be done with it. That's all I was going to say.
Thank you, Joni.
But you do know what I'm saying. Did I explain that correctly?
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. It is hit or miss with everything. I mess up every single day. I say I'm going to be a better person today than I was yesterday, and here I go fucking up again. With something. So it is hit or miss. I try. I try to be a person that is going to speak on my morals, what I think my morals are. I'm not trying to so much shove my morals down someone else's throat. At the same time, this is an open forum, a public platform, and sometimes I have a hard time keeping my mouth shut on things, especially if I think it's inappropriate, and maybe it was a miss. Maybe I could have handled it in a different way, but a whole lot of people were upset about it, not just me in the chat. And I knew stepping into that chat, it was not going to end well. And I either had to stand my ground and speak my mind or not get involved. And I'm the type of person that I tend to get more involved. and that's just who I am. And you either
Can I
like me
actually?
or you don't. But it's just who I am.
Can I say something to Joan?
Yeah, sure.
Can I
Go
say,
ahead.
if you're there, Joan?
Yes, I'm here, Trippy.
So you said sometime, and you know, somebody said I don't think Trippy's been in the community long enough to know about what you said, and honestly, I haven't. I didn't know that that was really a big problem, but I'm gonna say something about Brian. And even on this panel, I've disagreed. Like, for the most part, I'm the only one on the panel, on Brian's panel, who was agreeing with Peachy. Everyone was siding with Brian and Paul. I was the only one who was really agreeing with her to an extent, of course. But I've disagreed with Brian on some things, and he's never called me out on stream. He's always very open to let me on panel. He hears what I have to say, so I think if it was privately done, I don't think anyone would have been called out for it. Brian's a very nice guy, despite what some people might say about him.
And we're not perfect, but should we?
I don't have anything against Brian. You're right.
No, I don't either. And Brian and I, we don't always see eye to eye, but we shouldn't all see eye to eye with everyone. And should we only follow and support people who are perfect? If that's the case, then we would support and follow no one, because no one's perfect.
That's because we're human.
We're human. I get a hard time by saying, "Oh, Peachy, I can't believe you're supporting this person or talking to that person, and they got this record and that record." It's every we're not perfect. We're all imperfect, and if we went by that, then none of us would have friends. None of us would have support. No one would be in chat, and no one would be here to run a show.
Peachy, can I say something?
Yes, please do.
Okay, this is probably not the right time, but could you please unblock me from chat?
Yes, Vital Organ. If that's the only reason why you're coming up here, then that is a good reason. I absolutely understand that. Yes, I will make note of that. I've got to get on a desktop to do that, Vital Organ, but I will. I'll get that done.
Okay, very good, fair enough.
All right.
Thank you. All right.
I'm sorry you were blocked, along with lots of other people that I apologize for. I don't know why people were blocked, and I can't say why you were, Vital Organ. I know it was not me, but I'll take care of that.
Very good. Thank you, Derek.
All right, you're welcome.
I'm probably gonna hop off of here, but I just wanted to say, I think, that could have ended. The whole situation could have ended without Victoria in tears, and that's
No,
mainly
that's a dream. That's trippy, and I'm interrupting you. Well, we've already discussed this. I don't think that's reality. You're saying that you think that everything's going to be peaches and cream if everybody would have just kept their mouth shut, and then Victoria wouldn't have ended up in tears. She wouldn't have ended up in tears if they would not. Her parents would not have put her in that situation.
No, I disagree with that.
Okay.
I think, like, you could have still, everyone in the chat could have made their point known that they didn't approve of that without Victoria crying. That's what I'm saying.
How could we? Oh, Joan, help me on this. NJ Diver. Somebody agree with them or disagree with them, but I need some help on this one.
I'm not familiar with the situation.
All right, NJ. Then why are you up here then?
I sounded like you needed a little help. I figured.
All right. Well, I can appreciate that.
Like
Trippy.
Like Mr. Trippy, I'm not an auditor, but I have been around for a few years in this community. And prior to that, the police brutality videos I used to watch. And I've got a few years on all of you, I'm sure. So the experience does tend to help.
All right, NJ. Joni.
Yes, ma'am.
What is your view on what we could have done to not make Victoria cry?
I don't know that there's anything you could have done. What I would have done is put my earplugs in or ended the stream and waited until a more appropriate time to address the situation in front of my daughter. But I understand a lot of people, when we react in ways, it's just how we do. So it looks like to me, this is one of those times where it's been said, it's been done, it's been hashed. We've all learned our lesson. We've all had our hand slaps. Let's move on and let's just have a good Sunday night and not talk about it again. Because what I don't want to see, here's what I don't want to see happen. I don't want to go on tomorrow morning and see 5 streams where people talked about it and everybody hashed it all out 80,000 other times and their own views where Peachy wasn't there or NEW wasn't there. And those are the things that bug me, that it just keeps waving out and getting missaid and misquoted and then before you know it, it's this ridiculous thing. And we have to wait for somebody else to do something foolish so we can move on and find something else to pick apart.
Well, I kind of like the phrase, I would rather be happy than right.
There you go.
I do not like to, am I roboting? I do not to be a fighter. I know a lot of us are, right? Can you guys hear me, Joni?
I can. You are roboting.
Man, all right. I'm going to come back and probably end this in a few minutes.
All right. Sounds good. Oh, you're probably good. Hey, NJ Diver, how are you?
Good evening. I'm surviving.
Nice. That's good. Did you have a decent holiday for the weekend?
Not so much. I had a nice week visiting with my daughter and her fiance, but get home, then I had to take my wife down to her father's to relieve her sister from watching over him for a little while. And then turns out she went out to start his car and it's completely dead. So I have to go back down tomorrow to work on it.
Yeah.
Thank you. News Now 7:02. Is this better, Joni?
Yes, it is. Fizzy, that's hilarious. He says, wait till my stream about this. And we talk about, and he does reaction to this stream about that original stream on. That's exactly what I'm talking about. See, we can make fun of ourselves. It's okay to make fun of ourselves. It's okay that we are fools. Every one of us makes mistakes. What's really hard is to just swallow that pill, take that spanking from your friends, and try to do better the next time. That's all I ask from anyone, is that they just try better the next time. I've done it.
Well,
I've had to swallow a pill on these channels a few times. When I first started, trust me, I swallowed a few pills and got a little pissed off, but you didn't see me doing no videos about it, right? They just said, okay, all right, let me think about it. And then I decided if it was something I wanted to change or not.
Yeah, well, everybody does it differently, though. It's. I suspect there's going to be other panels about this. I suspect that there's going to probably be.
There already is. That's what's so funny.
Yeah, exactly.
Already has like 3.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's. I don't know. It's kind of a rarity for this. This situation is kind of a rarity. You don't really. I've never. Been on someone's panel. That's we've seen a few kids here and there or kids standing beside their parent, but this is a little bit of a rarity. But when you when you're a public figure on YouTube and everything's in public, your show is public, then what do you expect? People are going to comment, and whether it's a comment with morals or it's ethical or unethical, people are going to have opinions on it.
They are.
And you can't, when you put yourself out there, it's nothing ventured, nothing gained,
And you know the old adage, opinions are like sphincters. Everybody's got one.
Yeah.
And here in the United States, we have laws and a constitution that allow you to express them.
This reminds me of I have a person in my life that likes to go through her contact list and call everyone to tell everyone the story.
Excuse me.
Sure. So she'll work her way through the list of who will pick up. And if I'm talking to her and she's finished, or someone more important answers, in other words, someone that will feed into her BS, she will let me go to tell them the same exact story that she's been sitting here telling me for the last hour. I don't really have I lose respect when people do that. And that's what I see happen a lot here in the streams. This is a perfect example, and that's why I'm pointing it out. We all know that person, and if you don't know that person, you are that person who calls everybody under the sun down their contact list to hash out the same thing. You know what that is? It's called gossiping, and it's just a nasty trait that we have. And so I would really, I stand by what I said earlier. Let's just let it drop. I appreciate letting me up here, Peachy, and I love that you did this. This was a great way to stay with what's going on. You did what's right. You left and you started your own, and then you got what was needed, and it was discussed, and I think in an appropriate way. And then
I agree with that. But I think people need affirmation. People can't let their egos go, and they need affirmation to response to people, calling on their list to gossip or whatnot. And I think that a lot of us aren't comfortable in our own skin, and we need a lot of affirmation. And that's one thing that I really don't need affirmation. I try to stand on my principles, and I like to agree to disagree with people and let it go. Let's hash it out. Let's agree. If we can't hash it out and agree, let's agree at least to disagree. And I think, I like Brian. I don't always agree with him, nor does he always agree with me. I think his daughter, she's precious. She's talented. And I know that she can really do well on her YouTube channel, her own kid, age appropriate YouTube channel. She could be a YouTube star, so to speak, and in her age group, not this age group. So that's all. That's how I feel about that. But thank you, Joni. I appreciate you. This is not your first time on my panel, is it, Joni?
You ask me, you think I would know, Peachy? I can't remember those panels I've been on. Surely not. Surely not.
I don't know. I haven't. When I was doing panels with the desktop, you weren't around at that time, and then I stopped for quite a while. So really, I haven't done a lot of panels. When StreamYard said, "Oh yeah, you can do with your iPhone, you can do panels now." That's when that same day I did a panel. But I enjoy them. I certainly don't want to beat a dead horse about this topic, and it is very controversial. If I had to do it over again, I would say I would go into the house and do it on the desktop, because running a panel like this is very difficult. I've got a major headache because I think I probably missed about I don't know. Now it's probably gone down to maybe 40% of my own show, because I've had to go and refresh and do this and that. So it has not been pleasurable running this StreamYards tonight at all. It's really been a big pain in my butt.
Because I haven't tried to do it from my phone since they've done the update.
Yeah, it's just it has not been a good show for me, regardless of how controversial. It just hasn't been a good show, because I haven't been able to run it like I wanted to. I haven't been able to pay attention and chat, and then I've left people in the basement for a lot longer than I wanted to, but and Brian accused me of not, but I left Shiva down there for a long time, and I probably did everyone. And that was not intentional. I don't get butt hurt and just leave people in the basement for personal reasons. I don't do that. So
My apologies. That was my wife on the phone. The wife, she who must be obeyed.
happy wife, happy life. All right, 702. It's good to see you. 357, Thizzy, Darlene Marie, Bam McGreen Eyes. Thank you guys for joining. Degeneration Nation, Wamito, Legal Pitbull. And if you guys have anything that you want to discuss outside of the chat, like Trippy was saying, well, let's do it somewhere else and not in public. So if you want to email me at allamericanwoman247@gmail.com, you're welcome to chime in. If you have something to say to me that's more of a personal level, or if you do not want to type it in chat, I understand. It's All American Woman, that's singular, not plural. All American Woman 247, no slashes in that. All American Woman 247 at gmail.com. If you guys want to throw me an email on a more personal nature, that's okay too. So,
well, thanks for letting me up. Thanks, guys in chat. Bye,
all right,
NJ.
Joni.
Bye, Peachy. I'll see y'all
All
later.
right. Bye bye. All right, NJ Diver, do you have any last words? I'm going to shut this down.
Oh, nothing specific other than reality bites.
Reality bites. That's right. Well, I appreciate you joining me, and have a nice rest of your Sunday night.
No, you do too.
Okay.
All my days are weekends. I'm retired.
That's cool. Very nice. All right. All right. So we're winding down here. Oh my God, I've got a big headache. Gas control, Rich, Trippy. You're Trippy. You're welcome to come on my panel anytime, just like anyone else. Welcome up here anytime. Hopefully, my next one, I'm going to try to jump on a desktop, so there's not so many interruptions, and it's a little bit more pleasurable on my end. This was just not a good stream for me. And those of you that are blocked, I will try to get you unblocked as well when I jump on that desktop. So, Salty Rant, thank you for joining. Flathead's Wallet, 357, Swammy, Genesis, Bama Green Eyes. And know this, that I can't tell who's blue and who's not. So when I get text messages, so and so needs to be de-wrenched, I can't de-wrench on my phone. I can't de-wrench here. So I got to go on the desktop to do that, or go on a stream. I can control things like that on a YouTube stream, not StreamYards. So Mutual Assured Destruction, Taze, Dulce Betty, Sarah Jones, Darlene Marie, G Mama Pam, Joni, Cameras Mass Destruction, Grateful Gal, Taze 357. Now I'm repeating myself. So before I throw up here, I need to excuse myself. And Fizzy, thank you. And I'm just, I've got a pretty bad headache at this point. Sorry if I missed anyone. So God bless, and let's all try to be better people tomorrow than what we were today. And this is Ventures of Peachy Rider signing out. Love you guys.